upside down, and he give you all the flavor. One of the top DJs them in the UK. So we're good to have him among us. Also, I'm big up all the fellow presenters and DJs on Bless Radio. So this is the Jam Master Show. You know we do it the first hour. We're gonna focus around health. We do have a beautiful sister who will be joining us in a few minutes. You know, and some serious reasoning. See, so just lock in to the big one, and so we are roll this thing out.
For a week or so, and then I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't drinking anything other than urine.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. See, I do it every morning, but I do like a homeopathic kind of thing, like, because I'm still like, I don't know what it is. I just don't, I'm still not scared of it, but I just, I'll do like a teaspoon of it in the morning, and I'll mix it with water, and I'll just chase it down, and and I've been doing that for a few years, but I've never thought to do a full fast. But I mean, I imagine that if your body is healing on a fast itself, then if you're going to be on urine, I can't imagine that your body would be just, the healing process would be multiplied, like incredible.
As I said, 4 days into the fast, I saw, I also had nerve damage in the side of my foot and pain up the back of my leg from an Achilles tendon operation.
Okay.
And this pain had been with me for 4 years. And then 4 days into the fast, the pain was gone, and the nerve damage along the side of my foot gone.
Wow,
unbelievable.
And you had that for years.
4 years.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
That's so bizarre.
Back problems as well. They disappeared. My shoulder, which was kind of grinding, that sort of healed itself. And I said, my hair started to grow back, and all the lines on my face started to smooth over.
And how long ago did you do the fast, this 30-day fast?
Oh, this was back in 2012.
2012, so sometime. So have you done one since then, another one?
Not a urine fast, but I did a 60-day breatharian experiment.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that too, because you talked about that on your YouTube channel. If you guys want to check out Dave's YouTube channel, it's DMurphy25?
Yep, that's the one.
Okay, cool. And your most recent videos are about urine therapy, and you have some talks. So you did a breatharian fast?
Well, yeah, it was an experiment because I'd been reading about breatharianism, and I still am completely a complete believer that the human body doesn't need food.
Yeah.
So I decided to do a little experiment. It was supposed to be for a year. Actually.
Did you say liquid or little?
Sorry?
Did you say liquid experiment or a little experiment?
Little.
A little, okay, yeah, okay. All right.
So, yeah, it was supposed to be for a year.
Okay.
So I actually planned or prepared my body for a year previous to the experiment by ramping down the amount of food I was eating and the density of the food.
Okay.
So I was kind of a vegetarian. Then I became a vegan for a few months, and then fruitarian for a few months, and then liquidarian for a few months, and then I started the breatharian experiment.
So what year was this?
Well, this was 2014.
2014. So 2 years after your 30-day urine fast. What was the catalyst? What made you want to do this?
Well, it was reading Hilton Hotema's book, Man's Higher Consciousness, and the ideas were kind of swirling around in my head, and I thought, well, I really want to see if
Greetings.
I've been experimenting on myself for years. So,
Hi, how are you, Brother Dougie? Yes, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yes, give thanks and praise, yeah?
Yeah.
My sister, but first, we have to give thanks for you to join us on the call. And
Thank you for having me.
Hearing so much things about you by the Miracle Man. He's really someone I respect and admire. As a brother, he's really got, he's got a good heart. That's what I say.
Bless him.
Yeah, he really has a good heart. So anybody who moves around with him knows to have a good heart too. I know you have a good heart too. See?
Yes.
So,
thank you.
What I want to do, I want to go straight into the chase because we don't have time for really blagger, because if we start to go into your personal business, your CV, we'll be here for another half an hour.
I know.
And we're only scratching the surface, So, give a little background about yourself and the kind of work you do.
Okay, Well, really quickly, I'm actually a registered nurse and I specialize in neurology and neurosurgery. But prior to that, and actually more proudly, I'm actually also a massage therapist, complementary therapist. And that is basically what I'm actually more congruent in doing, is natural healing. And
Natural
that's
healing.
I feel
Okay.
is my divine purpose.
Right. So, sorry. So, when you say natural healing, I mean, you're talking about a holistic approach to healing. You talk about massage therapists and what? Yeah.
That's right. When I talk about healing, I'm talking about allowing the body to do its natural thing, which is to heal itself,
Okay
to
then.
rejuvenate.
Mhm.
And if you put your body in the right environment, if you give it the right things, it is allowed to do that. So, in terms of being able to put it in the right environment, then you have to consider toxicity and deficiency.
Ah.
You know.
No, me understand what you're saying.
So,
But you know
yeah.
something, just to jump in here because what I get to realize is this, that it's very important that you create a not create an environment, you know what I mean? Like
Yes.
a positive environment. Also not a creative environment, also you can create an atmosphere, because you see one of the things is that
right.
I find
Mhm.
right, that you see, even though one try to say, well, all right, they might try to eat more healthy, and
Yes.
but if the environment is toxic, and
That's it.
you know what I mean, you know,
This is why it has to
and you're
create
among
a
people who are
holistic
toxic
approach.
as well, you know,
Yes.
it could drive you mad, you know.
Yeah. It's not just one string to the bow.
Yeah.
You have to go at it from a holistic perspective.
Mm.
You know, that is actually why I went into nursing, because nursing is actually supposed to be designed to be a holistic profession, even though we are giving people medication which can be toxic. Well, a lot of them have a lot of side effects. But before you actually get to the stage of giving the patient medication, you're supposed to consider a holistic approach first.
Yes, true.
As a nurse.
It's true.
And where nurses don't get to do that in the allopathic medicine and Western environment is because the shortage of staff, the way they may have been trained, the time that they may have been trained. But I know for definite, since the time that I was trained as a nurse, we were taught that we should really consider a holistic approach first.
All right. Okay then. But you know something, right? I was reasoning with a brother, in fact, on a radio station, right? And he said something that really put things in perspective. He said that you know, when you try to call people to go up and take herbs, you know what I mean, like dandelion and so and so and so, right? You know, can liver and whatever. They will say to you, you must consult your doctor, right? First. But he was saying that, but most doctors would tell you they have no knowledge of herbs.
They haven't got knowledge of herbs.
You see, it's like he said to me, look here, I have a problem with my car, right? Right? I would naturally go to a mechanic, right? I now go to a barber man just run a car and this, sir. You see what I'm saying?
This country's caught up with red tape.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
You see?
And people will say that, even holistic practitioners will say that as well. But they're saying it just so that they can cover their backs. Because we all know about the court system and how people will, you know how it is. If you say consult your doctor first, then you know that, okay, I've given you my advice. It's up to you if you want to follow it, but you take the responsibility. And if you're going to do that, consult your doctor first. But you know what? If you're going to consult your doctor, it's up to you if you take the doctor's advice. It's for you to weigh up the pros and cons of what the allopathic practitioner has said and the holistic practitioner has said, the naturopath.
Well, you see, I can tell you something, because I'm glad that you bring this to the table, because people not saying you mustn't consult your doctor, but if you have no knowledge, right, of herbs or nutrition, why you know, it don't make sense. You see what I'm saying?
Doesn't make sense.
Don't make sense. If you had knowledge, right, then it makes sense. You know, let's deal with sense. That don't make sense. You know what I mean? So
right.
again, we not try to, you know, throw stones upon so and so. But if you don't have no knowledge of it, why am I consulting you? You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
You know?
It's literally just to cover people's backs, but it actually means nothing, because
Yeah.
the doctor will actually tell you that they're not actually trained in that, if they're honest.
Yeah. We know, they're not trained. In fact,
yeah, they've been trained to diagnose and actually how to administer, well, not administer, but prescribe Western medication, or the medicines.
But you see, Nanya, because I see my doctor. I just see him quite regular, right?
Yeah.
My doctor here, and I stop seeing him because every time I see him, he fucking like him don't want to talk to me. It's a brother man. He look at me like say, he don't want to look at me like I get put him nurse, and him look at me and say, like I say, what you want, you know, like and him write a description and ask him little fool question again, you know, have you still got a pain here and there, and what are you doing, and so on, so on, so. But I'm trying to reason with him, and I talk about nutrition and going and he said to me, he did say to me that, I mean, he has no knowledge of that, you know what I mean?
Yes.
You see, he said he haven't been trained by that, you know?
Yeah, what they'll do is they'll send you to a nutritionist. If you want to know about nutrition, you go to a nutritionist. If you want to know how your medication, how your diet will impact your chronic illness, you go to a dietitian. A dietitian and a nutritionist are two different things.
Two different things, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like what a doctor will do, if they're good, is actually point you to the vast array of people in the multidisciplinary team that they can point you towards. So if your issue is movement, musculoskeletal, point you in the direction of maybe a physiotherapist. Yeah, because they're the expert in that field. You know. So we have to understand and get into our mindset that the doctor is not the answer for everything. And sometimes our expectations, we're getting are a little bit warped by maybe what we see on TV. I'm not sure where we're getting this picture from. Or maybe that's what doctors back in the day, they kind of claim to be the all-knowing and all-seeing. But doctors of today, they will tell you, I can refer you, but this is what I'm here to do. I can diagnose what's wrong with you, or I might even need to send you to a specialist to diagnose you. Right. But they're just a point of call where they can direct you to who you need to speak with. What I would like to see in Western medicine is that same doctor actually point you to maybe a naturopath. Or a massage therapist, which they are starting to do now, or someone who does reflexology, and they are even pointing you to people like osteopaths, counselors, because it's a mindset as well. You know?
Yeah, I agree, and also we got to look at the emotions as well, because you know, and you know, the emotions plays a very important role in terms of your health, and one of the things what people are not aware of, right? Well, people who's in this field there. First, after big Ras Minty just joined us, so he probably joined in the reasoning. Ras Minty, sister Nanya on the line there. But one of the things we have to be aware of, things like mental health.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
And
what's on the
that has on your actual physical health?
Yeah. You know, the mental health was causes the physical health. So I mean, it's a twin. You know what I mean? You know, because if you're mentally you're out of balance, you physically your body it's out as well.
It's called psychoneuroimmunology when it actually affects your physical health. So, and this is a thing. I work in neurology, and we see it all the time, where someone has a mental health condition of some kind, and it's translated. It kind of communicates through to the body, the physical side of the body, and actually becomes a physical illness. We see it all the time, which makes people, if you look at it, it makes you understand that the body is connected. It's not just, you know how Western medicine has broken down the different systems. You've got the respiratory system, the circulatory system, you know, you've got the urinary system, as if they're separate entities, but they all work together. You know, as well as the nervous system. The nervous system controls everything.
Oh, right. That's why you can say it's a holistic approach to this thing.
It's a holistic approach, which is why we have to start looking at health with a holistic approach.
And
you know,
and also Nanya, there's I don't know if you're aware of this Dr. Layla Africa. To me, he's one of the best.
Yes,
health.
He's one of my heroes.
He's one of your heroes. He's one of my teachers. You know, I bowed down to him. You know, and when I first met Dr. Africa, because people always talk about him, I wasn't, them time I wasn't really on no health thing at all, right? Just hear about this money, right? And he said something really turned me around. He said that if you're stupid and ignorant, there'll always be a business. And he said intelligence rules the world, right?
Right.
And then I asked him a question about the whole thing about things like what's it when not diabetes? What's the other one there now? Lupus. Yes. Oh, you know, I was gonna say lupus.
It's always connected.
Yeah, lupus, right? My man, no man. I asked him about lupus, right? And he said that what it is, right? It's like a wire. It's gone loose, so to speak, right? And he said there's certain herbs you can use to strengthen, the nerves. That's it. You know?
That's right.
Because don't forget, your body's no different from a computer where things just loosen up here and there. You know what I mean? You know, and it's just out of place. You know what I mean? But he said there's certain herbs you can take, and it's holistic. It's a
That's it.
Yeah.
If your cells are in an environment that is conducive to them thriving, you're gonna have good health. A nerve is a nerve cell. A neuron. Is like any other cell in the body. The environment needs to be conducive to either healing or thriving. You know, so what we eat, what we eat and drink, even what we see, what we take in mentally, it all affects. Because if we think about our emotions and stress, for example, the impact that has on the body, that triggers the hormonal system, endocrine system, which is hormones. Now, when your hormones are running rampant in the body and they're out of sync, this is why you have to understand that the different systems in the body are actually interlinked. Because now that's going to trip another thing in your body, which is going to affect another thing. It's like a domino effect. So when you see, when you go to the doctor and they actually say, oh, you have a particular condition, the condition is actually just a symptom of what actually was the actual cause of the problem in the first place. You know, a lot of the time, doctors might not want to admit or say that it's down to stress. But if you go further back, and you understand how this condition came about, it may have started as stress being the trigger.
Well, you see,
why I love massage, because massage, it helps you to, if you have regular massage, for example, it's just one tool that you can use to keep.
Well, you see, you know something, right? You know, son, you're absolutely right, because I had a lot. I had some problem with my back and my shoulder, right? And I went to to his brother. He does massage, right? And he said to me, Dougie, your body's just stressed. And when he massaged me, right, he knows that there was a knot, actually like a knot in my back. So you have to push it out, and push it out. And also the stress was just built up in my body. So what you're saying is absolutely right. I have Ras Minty inside the house, and he probably wants to ask some questions.
Greetings, Queen. Yeah, give thanks, Dougie. No, I'm just really enjoying the conversation, to be honest. The stuff you were saying about the mind being connected to the body.
Yes.
It's well, I mean, in our African culture, we say as within, so without. So.
That's right.
And we understand from an African perspective that nature, everything's interconnected in nature. So as for Mother Nature or Father Nature, so for the body as well. So
exactly.
I know I had a friend who was a nurse, and I didn't ask her. I told her. I said that I know the people who recover the most or the quickest are the ones who are determined to in the mind.
That's right. Yeah.
I wonder if you could elaborate on that, my sister.
Yeah, definitely. If I even reflect that back onto some of the patients I see in the hospital, for example. So someone may be in hospital with a chronic condition, and they may have some relapses, or they may have times where they're more in remission, where they're actually able to function more or less normally for their normal, yeah? And they'll have times when they'll relapse where they're really at their worst state. You know, because with chronic illnesses, sometimes they're not linear. They don't just go exponentially. They go up and down. You might have peaks and troughs. But I notice that the patients in the hospital that have the visitors, their family around them, normality around them, some form or another, maybe their own blanket in hospital with them, something that reminds them of home, they seem to pick up a lot more. The ones that you see where nobody visits them, from day in, day out, you'll be on the ward and no one has come to visit them. Right. Seem to take a decline much more quickly. Then there seems to be more peaks, more troughs than peaks. You know? So we have to understand that definitely the mindset and what you're exposed to and your environment affects how you feel inside, and if it affects how you feel inside, then that's going to have a physical effect on your body. You know, as you was talking about, if we look at our environment, it's a reflection of what's going on inside. If you look at the smallest cell, it's like a little microcosm of the universe.
Oh, hold on, say that again. I never anybody. Yeah, say that again.
A cell in your body is like a microcosm of the universe. Yeah, if you look at even like take a look at the universe or the Milky Way or a galaxy, and then you'll look at the smallest cell, and you look at the atoms and electrons and how they operate. It's almost the same thing, but in a smaller form. Yeah. If you look at nature, the way that the divine spirit has actually designed this whole universe, it's a genius has done it, and it's so genius that it's so simple but complicated at the same time. You know, we complicate it, but the pattern is simple. Yes. In that it replicates itself.
Queen, you know what you're saying is absolutely right. Even if you look at the Earth, the Earth is what, 70-80% water, and so is our bodies.
There you go.
The Earth is round, isn't it? It's round like our heads.
That's right.
The Earth is round like our heads, and as the Earth within it has unlimited resources, so is our minds.
Right.
So everything's just a reflection. But when we
of
start,
each other.
Absolutely, Queen. So when we start tuning into nature, when we start vibrating with nature, that's when we'll be healthy.
That's right.
Which is what our ancestors did.
That's why I love science, because science just proves all of this.
Absolutely.
Now you look at chemistry, you know, and I always knew there was a reason why I loved science when I was younger. I didn't like the teachers who were teaching it, but I tell you something, the actual subject, it made me actually go and do a BTEC national in science. And first diploma and national diploma in science. I didn't know what I wanted to be at that time, but I just knew I enjoyed science.
Sure.
Sense to me, and I wanted to know more about life, the universe, in humans, you know, and I knew there was a connection in it. And when I actually started reading a little bit more, and I understood that there was a relationship between the universe, nature, human beings,
science,
animals. Science is all interconnected.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's all made up of the same stuff.
Yeah.
But just we're just reconfigured in different forms.
No,
you know,
absolutely.
It's just amazing, and when you actually realise that, you can actually use that for your benefit, especially in health.
But you know, when you say the word chemistry was actually a Latin word which was taken from chemet.
Yes.
Because because the earth, and we understood how nature worked. Basically,
That's right.
It's from within itself. Even we look at the chemical periodic table.
Yeah,
it's the foundation.
Yeah,
it's the foundation of life, isn't it? Without understanding that,
Yeah.
Sure.
So found the first compound or component. It's hydrogen. Hydrogen makes up enough things. The sun is 96% hydrogen. Water H2O, Dougie, 2 parts. Hydrogen 1 part.
That's it.
You know, so
when you look at the periodic table, you're looking at molecules, you're looking at atoms, and you're looking at electrons, and it's telling you the different configurations of each thing, which brings about each type of chemical.
That's right.
Yeah, and that's all it's doing. It's actually showing you life.
It's showing you order, like the universe is an order. So is the periodic table as well.
That's right.
And even when you check the word, sorry, Doug, I know. I just want to say because it's all connected. When we talk about chemistry, the building blocks, chemistry, chemet, and even what the Arabs called chemet, which was alchemy, Dougie. And what is alchemy? Wow. It's changing negative to positive, base metal to gold. It's revolution of the mind, essentially. So it's not just a physical science; it's a spirit or a conscious science. I don't like the word spiritual, but it's a mind science as well, which you're dealing with. So, with respect, Queen.
I just want to ride in because the whole thing about science, very quick. That's why I love Dr. Lay Africa, because he gives it the science. He actually breaks down the science. You know, I mean, I'm not trying to discredit most health practitioners, but they don't explain the science. You know, they don't really explain. Some don't really explain the science, but this Lay Africa, he breaks down the science. That's why I wanted to. That's why I really love Lay Africa, because the way he breaks things down, give the science and so forth. So that's why the science is very, very important.
He's a doctor. He's a naturopath. He's so many different things. He's studied basically. He's well versed in what he knows.
Well,
very knowledgeable man.
Yeah, do you know the man? He's been on his health journey for more than 50 years. You know.
Yeah. I've been. Listen, I've been inspired by Layla Africa since I was a teenager. I'm 40 in a few weeks, so
seriously,
that's a lot of years.
Yeah, but he didn't. So, no, he didn't inspire you to lie. Stop lying, kid. You're 40.
I'm not lying.
Stop lying, man.
yeah. Late. But anyway, I want to jump and ask about the wellness. The Wellness Academy. Yeah. Yes. What's that about and what's its purpose? If you can give us some little background information about that. Yeah.
Okay, so we're a team of like health specialists, natural health specialists. You know, we all believe in holistic health, and this is what we teach. Okay, so we've got different skills and experiences, and we felt we were coming together as a collaboration, and our whole point is to basically enhance people's own ability to understand themselves. We want to impact their health positively, and you know, we just want them to experience harmonious life through physical, emotional, mental, financial. You know, they just, because it's all holistic. When we're talking about holistic health, we're not just talking about what you eat and drink. We're talking about how you think. We're talking about how you feel. We're talking about how you make a way for yourself in life. What's your environment like? How's your financial stability? This is holistic health, because all these things impact your health. What's the number one stress that people have in London, for example? In the UK or anywhere? It's money. You know, we have this thing where we don't either have enough, or we don't know what to do with what we have. We don't know how to invest it. That's all part of it. Once you have financial stability, that's one thing you can actually say, okay, I can put that there. I know I can look after myself. I can feed myself correctly. I can do what I need to do to support myself. You know, there's a lot of things that impact your health. You know, and that's what we're taught, funnily enough, as a nurse, and that's why that was the passion of getting into it, because when we're talking about our patients and discharging them from hospital, we have to make sure they fit all the criteria for holistic health. Are they able? Where do they live?
But you know, something, my sister. Yeah, but you know, something. Sorry to cut you there, sir. But you know, son, it looked like. You know, it looked like we've been working together, because what you're saying is just so, it's like music to the ears. You're so on point, and you know, this, if we're not sharp, we have to teeth sharp and taking people out of our team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you're so. You know, it's like saying we've been in it, Minty. It's like we've been talking. Like you're part of us. You know what I mean?
That's it. I
know,
mean, I'm actually easing myself out of being a registered nurse because there's health implications for me as a nurse being on the ward. And this is the other double-edged sword. Although I get to, it's opened my eyes as to what is going on out there in terms of disease and illness and what allopathic medicine, how it's actually impacting the health of others positively and negatively. I'm actually more happier practicing complementary health medicine because I know there's no side effects, there's only benefit to be gained there. You know, so I've actually gone part-time as a nurse, thankfully, and that's because of my own health reasons. If you look at a lot of nurses on the ward, they're caring for people on the ward, but their own health is actually being impacted.
It's true.
The hours, the night shifts, causing hormonal imbalances. The fact that for you to work in a hospital in the first place, you have to take vaccines. Vaccines.
You have to take vaccines, yeah?
You have to work in a hospital.
I didn't know that. You didn't know
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, no, you do, because they say that a lot of people catch illnesses
Yeah.
because of people coming into the hospital with the germs and then
That's why you have to
that's why you have to clean.
You won't be
That's why you have
signed
to
off.
clean your hands when you.
You won't be signed off by occupational health if you haven't had your vaccines and your immunizations. You won't.
It's true.
So you can see already it's a sacrifice on your own body to actually do that kind of work. So that's why I'm going back into my first love, which was the massage therapy, which is what I started off as, went into nursing, and now I'm coming back out of it.
Okay.
You know.
Okay then. So
Yeah.
everything happened for a reason still.
Absolutely, man.
Everything happens for a reason,
Everything
definitely.
for a reason.
You must always
Yeah.
follow what you love anyway, sis.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The Wellness Academy is something that we are really passionate about, and we do have a lot of events coming up. And I just urge you all to check in with us and check out what we're doing. We've got an event coming up at the end of November, and that's going to be based in Cyprus. That's where our headquarters is. And we're urging anyone who wants to come over, come experience beautiful Cyprus and actually come to our event. And more details will be on our Facebook page and our website. Yeah.
Okay then. And have you got a YouTube channel yourself, or your Facebook, or people can hook you up and etc.?
Well, you can look me up at the moment on Facebook. I'm actually on Facebook as Nadia Nubia Brown. But I think it'd be better to actually look up the Wellness Academy on Facebook.
Okay then.
Yeah,
fair
definitely.
enough. But also, I'm gonna let people know, and people might think it's a fierce demand when I'm gonna say this now, that I've took liberty with the sister because she's come to the event on one event. She's coming on the 10th or the 17th, and she'll be talking. She'll be giving a little short presentation about some of the stuff she's doing, and also she'll be bouncing in. Might get involved in the panel as well. But we can't let that kind of information go to waste, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Yeah, cool.
You know what I mean? So we're at liberty with you, my sister. You don't see it,
Okay.
We're at liberty with you. So we have to have a part of the what we are dealing with, And the funny thing is that I want to let people know that on the 10th, I don't even know a brother called Vasco Stevenson talks about prostate cancer.
Okay.
Yeah, he's very good. We have a brother called Lyndon, who will be talking about diabetes.
Yeah.
Right. He's written a book on diabetes, and he'll be there. Very good. And we also have a brother called Jeff. They'll talk about diabetes, and also we'll be talking about bowel cancer as well. It's all on the 10th, but on the 17th, right, we have a brother called Dave Murphy. I don't even heard of him. Bad boy, that
Right.
talking about the truth about cancer. So am I going it and dismiss our kind of folly, what the system I talk about certain things, you know what I mean? But am I going it raw and rugged, And I'm encouraging people to come and hear what I'm talking. Some other people will be talking as well. See? So, so where I go on with this thing, you know. So, my sister, it's really a pleasure to have you among us and share some valuable information. It's like I said, we could talk to you all day and all night. Because
I know we could talk, and it's been amazing. Thank you for letting me come on.
Yeah, thank you.
Can I just direct you to our website?
Of course, my sister.
It's www.wellnessacademyglobal.com.
Mm-hmm. Say it again.
And you
say it
can
again,
also
please.
find us on Facebook.
Say the website again for me.
So www.wellnessacademyglobal.com.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we're also on Facebook, and you'll find out more information about what we do there. Thank you so much for allowing me to come on.
Thank you.
Thank you, sis.
Thank you, my sister. And then
we'll
be speaking soon, yeah?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, one love.
Thank you, sis. Bye bye.
Okay, bye bye. Okay, so what a beautiful sister, Nanya, who was on the line, and it's like so we know for years the way she was just interacting with us, and you know she shared some things what I didn't know at all, you know, and that's you know each one teach one. That's why you ever look at the value of shows like this, because I don't know everything, you know. In fact, the more I say I know, the more little I do know, you know. You know, when it comes down to it. And you'd be amazed when people come and share certain information, you know. Because when I fight against parties and dances and everything that, you know what I mean? But right about now, we have to be more conscious, more wise, see? Because if anybody could prove to me history where we got to party as liberators, right? You could prove that to me in history, right? I will go to parties every single day and get myself liberated, you know. But it hasn't happened, you know.
I'm not aware of that in any way, shape, or form, Dougie. But I'm just aware of the balance in it, man. We work hard, get the knowledge, and once we've inculcated this information and we can help our people with it, then we can party.
Then we could party like crazy.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely, man. So,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, but like you said, Dougie, the more I know, the more I realize I don't know. And it's beautiful what the sister said about the cell being like the universe, man. We never know that, but it's just really making us realize how much we are connected to nature.
We are connected to nature, yeah.
And how much we should connect more with nature. And that's our saving grace. People don't realize it. She mentioned the doctor's pills. We're not. I don't take doctor's pills, Dougie. There may come a time when I may have to, when I fall down. I'm not going to say I'll never. I may have to, you know. But as it stands now, it's nature me I deal with, you know what I mean, Dougie? It's natural herbs, it's natural food, and we're just sticking with that because it's served us well for many, many years. And even if we do catch an ailment, we just use food to heal us. What did our ancestors say, Dougie? Let our food be our medicine.
And our medicine be our food.
And that's it.
Yeah, and it's quite interesting because I still have to go back to what Collective Cloud was saying the other day, that, you know, you find it strange, right, that, you know, we say to people they must take herbs for certain health challenges. For example, you can take certain herbs to clean out the liver, food called dandelion and etc., right? People say you have to consult the doctor. But the doctor would tell you that he doesn't know about herbs.
That's right.
You know, he said that he hasn't been trained. You know, it's like saying, well, Bridget, we have a problem with my car, you know. You know what I mean? You'll naturally go to a mechanic.
Absolutely, man, absolutely.
You now go to a barber man, right? Or a hairdresser.
That's right.
Or a school teacher. That wouldn't come to psyche, you know what I mean? You know? So it's quite interesting, you know what I mean? You know, I think you need to be wise to consult someone who knows something about herbs.
No, it's important, Dougie. I think when I went to my doctor and I had remember I used to have pain in my chest. It was like what do you call it? Acid reflux. Now, what the doctor just tells you what to take, what they see on TV. You know, they have them twins advertised. Oh, Johnny's got heartburn and Mickey's got acid reflux. But they can both take Gaviscon. No. When I went to my doctor, that's what he said, Dougie. So I done my research. I said, well, doctor, obviously, if I've got acid, shouldn't I be taking more alkaline-based foods to redress the acid? He goes, oh, I never thought about that. I'm thinking, what kind of doctor are you? I know more about the body than you do. Who are you dealing with, doctor? I was shocked, Dougie. It just reminded me when you said that. It reminded me. And when the sister was mentioning it too about the doctors don't know anything about nutrition, Dougie. They don't know how to clean the liver, what food you need to clean. I'll tell you what to clean the liver. They'll just tell you if you've got stomach problems, take Gaviscon. No, you've got to, as the sister said it, you've got to find out what's causing the stomach problems, Dougie. With acid reflux, acid in your belly, it's to do with your liver, Dougie. You've got to clean the liver. And you mentioned about liver cleansers, which are very important. Garlic, ginger, grapefruit juice, broccoli, avocado, turmeric, cayenne pepper. These things clean the liver. You understand, Dougie? And I know this because I've had to research it, obviously. So if you want your liver cleansed, garlic is brilliant. Ginger tea is brilliant. Garlic is probably... If you eat a raw garlic, you're gonna feel your heart just push. You just feel your heart. You're right, because your liver's based just here, Dougie. You're gonna feel it just start tingling and feel lighter. You're gonna feel lighter, Dougie. So it's very important to understand about the benefits of food, natural food. You can't beat it, Dougie. You can't beat nature, herbs, food.
No, you can't beat it. You know. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna have a very short break, and then we'll go back into more reasoning. And again, we have Ras Minty inside the house, so we have to heal him up all the time.
Awesome. Thank you, Dave, for being on the show. We really appreciate this.
I'm really excited to be here after all this whole trip.
Yeah. Well, I stumbled across your work, years ago, but I was really interested in the work that you've done with urine therapy, and I know that you've done some interviews on urine therapy, and I'm curious. It's kind of a weird subject. Most people are averse to it. Have you been doing any urine therapy on this trip yourself?
Yeah, I do it every day.
I mean,
I've been doing it every day, pretty much every day for the last 6 years.
And I saw that you fasted on your own urine for some time. How long did you fast for?
I did a 30-day urine fast.
Oh my goodness.
Which, no food or water. It was just urine. I tried looping everything that I produced, but I ended up, I was going like every 15 minutes, so I had to cut back a bit. But yeah, it was just urine.
So they say that as you continue to cycle the urine through your body, you pee more often, right?
You do, and it gets clearer and clearer.
Okay.
It does change. It's weird because your body's adjusting all the time, so it kind of changes its taste and it kind of varies. So you just have to, it doesn't follow any kind of pattern. Your body's, a dynamic system. So, all these things, change as you go along. It's just very strange because I was actually healing stuff in that 30 days.
I bet.
And so my body was adjusting. So the urine was adjusting along with it.
What do you think you were healing?
Oh, I healed my asthma. My lungs repaired themselves.
Really?
Yeah. I had asthma. I've had asthma since I was a child.
Wow.
And it was chronic. I nearly died from it once. And literally, my lungs were the lungs of a 70-year-old. After my fire department medical, they told me that, and they were going to take me off the breathing apparatus. So 4 days into the fast, I had this urge to run. I was doing a walk, and I had this urge to run.
I think you talked about that in one of your videos, didn't you?
Yes.
A video in a park somewhere in London or something, right?
Yeah.
In England, yeah.
So I was walking, I had this urge to run, and I ran for half a mile. And bear in mind, before that, it was like I
never ran before.
I could run for about 50 yards, and I'd have to take half an hour to to rest and recover from it.
Yeah.
But I ran for half a mile, and I got to the end. I was like, I can still breathe. What's going on?
How bizarre.
And my lungs had come back.
And how long had you been fasting on urine when you did the run?
This was only 4 days into the fast.
Dude, so what caused you to do that? I mean, it's one thing to do, a lot of people do intermittent fasting Now, I do that every day. A lot of people do 1 day fast or 3 day fast, and they're doing green juice fasts. You know, people do that. But what made you, I mean, fasting alone is something where it's like people look at you strange, right? But to do fasting on the urine, I mean, you didn't like ease into this thing. I mean, it's kind of bizarre, right?
Yeah. Well, I'd been doing urine therapy for a year at that point.
Okay.
So I was seeing the benefits. You know, I was feeling great. I had more energy and you know, things were starting to get better. You know, my hair started to grow back and things. It was quite amazing. And I listened to somebody talking about.
Okay, then that was Dave Murphy, and he will be at the event on the 17th of September, and he'll be talking about the truth about cancer, and look at cancer and look at everything from a holistic approach, holistic lifestyle, and look at the mind, etc. I know Ras Minty done a lot of work around the whole thing about the mind, because you know he's done seminars and talk and different radio stations about the whole thing about the mind. And you see, you can't separate. It's all one. It's all linking together. See? So, Minty, when we talk about the mind, right? What do you want to say about the mind?
Well, you know, the mind is, you know, they say that there's a saying, Dougie, that the mind is a terrible thing to waste, isn't it, man? So that is the greatest thing, man, that we have to recognize. That the mind is sovereign, basically. The mind is sovereign. The mind is sovereign. The mind is sovereign. Sorry about that. We just had a little things we had to sort out there. Yeah. The mind is sovereign, Dougie. Essentially, if you want to be successful, you've got to see it in your mind first. As the sister said, and I agree with it 100%, if you want to be healthy, you've got to see it in your mind first. Everything starts in the mind. And what we discussed about visualization, and we discussed about imagination. We talked about how imagination is the one of the tools of imagination is one of
Hello?
Hello? Can she hear you? Just suck your teeth, man. This is for him, man. Don't do your thing.
Go on.
Yeah, as we were saying anyway. Sorry about that. There was just a few technical issues there, man. Yeah, the mind. If we want to deal with the mind, if we want to like have the mind, our lives right, we have to get our minds right. And you know, it's a lot of people think that to change the world, you have to deal with the world first. No, you don't. You have to see what you want in your mind first, and then go for it. You have to establish how you feel, what it is that you want to develop, what it is that you want to interpretate, and then when you know, using your vision, using your imagination, using these tools. This is what helps you create what you want to create. Creation starts in the mind, yes? So anything that we want to create, it has to start with the way that we think. Now, if you want to manifest anything, the way you think determines the way you feel. And what you feel determines how you behave. Now, so if you want to create anything, it starts with the way you think. It starts in your mind. It always starts in your mind. And one thing I encourage people to do when they want to become skillful at anything is to practice. Practice. It's like if you want to be a good lyricist, then you must do it. It starts in the mind, isn't it? But it also starts with the way you're using your mind and using, when you're remembering your lyrics, for example, you have to do that in the mind. It starts with the way you think and the way you're approaching it, and the confidence you have and the belief you have in yourself. That's what it starts with, man. So the mind is the sovereign, the mind is powerful, the mind is ruler, The mind run everything. And as soon as you get your mind right, everything right. So that's the emphasis that we want to put on the mind. You can't get away from it. People don't have spiritual health problems. They have mental health problems, and that if your mind's not right, it can mash up your whole life. So it's important that we get our mind right. And you know, we talk about imagination, visualization. It's important because your imagination can take you anywhere at any time. If you talk about inventors, that's exactly what they use. They use their imagination to see their invention in the world the way they want it before they bring it into the world. Mm-hmm. What's that great inventor called? Tesla? No. Tesla. I'm going to get his name, man. Okay. Tesla. He was one of the greatest inventors ever, Tesla. And what he said is that everything that he created, he saw in his mind perfectly, Dougie, he said it. Yeah. So perfect that when he brought it into manifestation, there was nothing out of sorts from what he saw in his mind. So everything he brought in worked first time. Mm-hmm. So it's important to get your mind right, to manifest things in the physical world, and don't think that you're going to fight things in the physical world and then we'll change people's minds. It doesn't work that way. We have to get our minds right. We have to make sure our minds are working in the way that we want it. When you change, they change. And a great example of that is the Montgomery bus strike. Our people bandied together. We said we're going to have an aim. The aim is that we're not going to support the buses, yeah? We're not supporting the bus. We're not going to support the bus company. That's our aim. We've got to stick together, and we've got to have solidarity with this. All internal concepts which have to manifest externally. So our people said, we're not going on the buses. A year and 11 days this went on for. And what happened is the bus company Equays, they said, okay, we're going to let you on the bus and you can sit wherever you want to. When we change, they change. So the mind manifests what you want outside. So you have to get your mind right first, man. So this is the importance of the mind. So I can't emphasize it enough. And another great, because there's many people who promote the power of the mind. But one of the greatest, of course, is Marcus Garvey. He talks about the power of the mind all the time. Rise, ye mighty nation. Ye can accomplish what ye will. What is your will? Your will is your intelligence. What is your will? Where does your intelligence come from? It comes from your mind. Everything comes from the mind, yeah. If you're determined to do something, Dougie, no one can stop you. If you're determined to do something, you can't be stopped, man.
But you know, sir, let me show how powerful the mind is. That you have some men, right? Well, from young, they want to be like a woman. They dress like women, talk like women, and twos, right? They become like women. Yeah? And everything starts in the mind first, because you're going to visualize yourself being like a woman, right? You're going to visualize yourself being like a woman, right? And then twos, you know, you look better than a woman out the door there. So everything starts in the mind. Yeah, everything starts in the mind. I think we got a caller coming in. Yeah. So is that Jeff there? So we do have Jeff there, who's gonna join us on the line now. Jeff, are you with us?
Yes. Okay.
Oh. Nice one, Jeff. So Jeff, how you been, man?
Doing great.
Well, Jeff, I know you ain't got much time, so I know you we're trying to bully you to phone in fun us, you know. I have to use the word bully, cause you know. But Jeff, the first I'd like to say that it really was a good event at the Mahat Center last week, Saturday. I thoroughly enjoyed it, you know, and most of all, Jeff, that you know, Jeff, that when we hear about your testimonial, your story, you know, boy, if you're not human, if you don't cry, that means you're not human, man. Because when you talk about, you know, as someone who had diabetes, right, and you know, the journey you went through to reverse it is amazing, you know. And in fact, I see you the same light like my brethren there, Lyndon. You know, because every week Lyndon I phone and talk about his journey, about his book, and we just to push the brother like him because, you know, he's lived through it. You know what I mean? But when we hear your journey too, man, it's quite powerful. But I wonder if you could share quickly, right, what you've been through, man, because it's amazing what you've been through. And I know you've been through, you reverse it, see, beat it up.
Yeah, well, that's kind of in the past,
Yeah, me know, man.
Yeah, it's just good to mention it sometimes to give people encouragement and people who are out there suffering that, you know, there's a light at the end of the tunnel and don't give up because, you know, it can be reversed. It can be reversed. As I said, for me, it wasn't a case of just diabetes. It was a case of getting myself off insulin. That was the main achievement in my case because I was told that I can't come off it. So, but I know where there's a will, there's a way, and I know that, you know, whatever they say, they're just, you know, reaching in the dark because they themselves don't know. And if they knew everything, why they're constantly doing research? They don't have the answers, but it just shows they don't have the answers. So, you know, never just accept what they say. Just keep searching, keep going out there. And in my case, I did. And like I said, I confounded a lot of them. Even to this day, they're scratching their head and asking, well, you know, how did I do it? What did I take? But, you know, so for anybody out there suffering with diabetes, especially those on insulin, because once you go on insulin, you know, you normally, there's a rapid downward spiral. So the main thing is to find a way to try and get off this thing.
So what are they? What herbs do you take, or what was the what do you take? What really reverse your thing? No? What was your thing?
Well, like I said, it wasn't just a case of taking any one or two herbs. It was a case of just sitting down and coming up with a regime that suited me.
Oh, same thing. Same thing with the brethren said, you know, Lyndon. Same thing as well. Yeah, man. Yeah, same thing.
Because what suits me may not suit somebody else.
You understand?
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. So generally, people just gotta sit down, look at their life, look at everything, and say, well, where do I start? In my case, it was just a case of sitting down, looking at the circumstances, and when I found out that in my case it was what they call drug induced, it was the medication that I was on that actually triggered the diabetes. Then it's taking it from there, finding out what exactly this medication is, what exactly, you know, and doing a lot of research. I said, like, I ended up myself going and doing a diploma just in health and nutrition, just to get a better understanding of how the body works and what nutrition the body needs and what's the best sources to get those particular nutrition.
Oh, okay then.
And then it was a case of monitoring yourself. In my case, I went out and got myself a blood pressure monitor. I went out myself a pair of good, you know, really good scales to check your weight constantly. And develop an exercise regime. And then it's a case of just drafting up a chart and meticulously every day checking blood pressure, checking sugar level, checking weight, and noting it down. Over a period of time, like I could see a trend developing that when I did X, this happened, if I did Y, that happened. And then from that, just, you know, working out what's the best way to take. And in my case, it worked. You know, because the insulin was my motivation to get off that thing, because I know what it can do. I'd seen what it done to my mother, seen what it done to other people. And it's not a very good thing to be on.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Okay then, because, you know, again, you have to, as I said, your message has become your message, you know what I mean? And you're a living testimony, because well and truly, if we you know, well and truly, I don't, listen, I don't want to. You're lucky to be around now, Jeff. Dave, you never took action. You don't know what would happen to you. You know what I mean? You know. Yeah.
That's right.
You see. So, yeah, man, we have to give thanks, man. We have to give thanks to you. But Jeff, I wanted to talk about the event what's gonna take place tomorrow.
Oh,
Man,
tomorrow,
think about
yeah.
Saturday, no. What think about that? That's tomorrow, innit?
It's tomorrow, the 31st.
I think about Saturday. I think about next week and all. It's tomorrow, man. All right, let people know about the event, man.
Yeah, tomorrow evening. And just to say, this is in line with a lot of what I've had to go through and what a lot of other people is going through, is looking to an alternative. And the alternative does exist. They're not readily promoted because, as you know, there's vested interest in pharmaceuticals. So when people turn to alternatives, they are discouraged, and we are told that it wouldn't work and all kind of things. But there are practitioners out there who spend their life, practicing in these methods and who are highly qualified and are highly effective. I mean, people like Dr. Sabi, for instance, would anybody say he didn't know what he was doing? And these are the caliber of people that's out there. It's to find them. And this event came around when a young sister came to one of our meetings. And I happened to be talking about some of the African superfoods. And that particular day, I think, was talking about a particular herb called King Caliber. In the Wolof, it's pronounced Sahau. And she listened, and then she started to ask certain questions, because I'm saying a lot of the pharmaceutical companies now are getting hold of these things and are busily experimenting and researching to find the active ingredients so that they can patent it. And then the sister asked certain questions and then said there's actually research going on in Africa, where the Africans themselves are doing their own research and are looking to paint their own thing so that the Western, companies can't just come and rip them off.
Right.
And then that's how it led eventually to this event. And the event is the African Traditional Medicine Day. And this is the 17th year, apparently, that this event is being held in Africa. It's mainly focused around the Senegal, because the brother who is one of the forerunners in it is actually based in the Senegal, and he heads an organization called Formetra. And he works in conjunction with the Andrew Young Foundation. Now, the name Andrew Young may ring a bell, because Andrew Young was actually the ambassador to the United Nations under the Carter's administration.
No, but Andrew Young used to be part of was part of Martin Luther King
That's right.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
right.
yeah,
Same
man.
person.
Same
Same
man. No,
person.
Andrew Young, man. It was part of Martin Luther King
It's a foundation,
Yeah,
and what
man.
he has been doing, he has ventured into Africa on many occasions over many years, and has taken a great interest in the African traditional healing practices, because he himself said he's benefited greatly from it and know it does work.
But
So as a result of that, the sister's name is Sister Tut. Yeah, she came and she said, talk to us. It'd be nice to put something like this on to let people know that there is active work by Africans in this area. So that's how the event came about.
right.
So it will be held tomorrow, the Friday the 31st tomorrow. The doors will open to the public at 6. And we are looking to start the event about 7 o'clock.
About 7 o'clock. Okay.
It consists of 2 documentary films, showing you the works that's taking place in Africa. And after the film, we have gathered ourselves an expert panel. Now, the reason why I use the term expert, because each of the people on the panel are renowned experts in their own fields. And they are, one of the panelists is Dr. Virginia Lynch. She's a trained immunologist and also works as a medical writer. And then we have Sister Kendaki, who's very well known in and around the community in this area. And as we know, she is an expert in the health and well-being area. And also the spiritual aspects, because what you'll find surrounding African traditional medicine is a holistic practice. So it's not just a case that you go and see a healer and they'll pass something up and say, just go and take this. They'll also give you some kind of rituals to go through as well, which is part and parcel of the whole healing process. Then we have Roots Doctor, or Dr. Bina, and his specialist area is raw food. And then we also have Dr. Althea Jones Loconti. Now, she has an interesting background, is that in the 60s, I was told she and a brother by the name of Eddie actually founded the Black Panther Party in Britain. So for many years, they were the leading light in the community.
Okay, then. What's her name? Sorry.
Althea. Most people just know them as Althea and Eddie.
Okay, then.
And they were based in Trinidad for years. Now, she trained as a hematologist. She's actually a medical doctor. So she'll be on the panel giving. And we also have Dr. Femi Biko. Now, again, most people know Femi as a historian.
Yeah, that's why I know him. Yeah. We know Femi from early days.
Way back at that bookshop that gave many presentations. But as a result of the condition that he had, and the doctors here, Western medicine, wrote him up and said there's nothing they can do for him. And as a result of him turning back, he's from Nigeria, turning back to his, traditional healers, and they were able to put him right and cure him from the condition that he had.
No, but let me Jeff. Let me give some history, because me know Femi from way back, and I think he had MS.
That's right.
He had MS, right?
Not MS, no, not MS.
No, what MS? What was it?
ME.
Yes, right. But talk about, and don't forget. Listen, hold on, Jeff. There, I'm going to give some history, man. Well, you might know the history now. And I put on a fundraiser, right, down in Tottenham there, to raise some money for Femi, right?
All right.
For his health, for the health. I can't remember how much money we raised, right? And it was years ago, because his health was deteriorating them time there. See?
Yeah.
I haven't seen Femi for a long time, I haven't seen Femi for. Last time I see was at the Mahat Center, and in fact he was telling me about something I take for my hip, and because he said that he had to do a lot of research in terms of what he was going through and stuff. You know what I mean? So that's why I was so when he said Femi on the panel, I know he was a historian, but no, everything started to make sense when you talk about no. See?
Yes. Yeah, that condition, like I said, he was written off, and he went, and so he's heavily doing research.
Yeah.
That area. So
well, them man a researcher, Them man don't, when it comes to research, they don't play with that,
Serious researcher. When he research, you research.
He research, man. Don't play with them on there. So I know it might come with some everything. Tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah. So those 5 experts will make up the panel. And I'm looking forward to it, because, like I'm saying, you never stop learning. And just by coming to an event like this, then many people will benefit. There's many, as we know, in our community, there's a lot of chronic people suffering with chronic ailments, and are out there suffering, and constantly they're going to their doctor who's trained, because let's face it, these medical doctors are not trained in nutrition in any way at all. Out of 7-year course that they do, they may spend, if they're lucky, 2 weeks on nutrition. So they're just out of their depth when it comes to advising people in terms of anything alternative or herbal. They have no idea. But yet our people goes back to them constantly, and as we know, we're given the pharmaceuticals. Yes, it may make us feel better in a way, but one thing it's guaranteed to do is trigger something else.
Yeah, it's true.
The side effect.
Yes, a side effect. It's like a knock-on effect.
In
Yeah,
my
it does,
case, I found out the hard way. And that's how my diabetes got triggered from taking, conventional medicines, but they told would get rid of the condition I had, and it triggered something else.
Trigger something else, yeah.
Whereas with the herbal, side effects are minimal if you're taken through the steps of how to use it and how to make it effective. So all I can say is a meeting that I'm very much looking forward to, and I encourage as many people as possible to come along. It's a free event, so I just want people just to come in and just get the knowledge.
So let people know exactly where the Mahat Center is.
Okay, the Mahat Center is Tottenham High Road. The number is 366A. And that's the part of Tottenham High Road that's between Tottenham Police Station and Monument Way, Phillip Lane. And those are the buildings. As you go up towards Monument Way, some buildings are set right back on your left-hand side from the road. Mahat Center is the last building. You see a big white building at the end, and it's actually got a sign up saying Mahat Center. That's where it is. It's absolutely, it's opposite. If people might know Chances.
Yeah, T Chances.
Chances, directly opposite there. And while I'm on, I just like to take the opportunity briefly to say in May, because this is part of the whole holistic African tradition and part of the African spiritual tradition, because if we look at the holistic medicine, African spirituality and that is one of the same. They go hand in hand. We had the pleasure of inviting Professor Baina Bella from Haiti, who came over in May, specifically for African Liberation Day that we put on every year. Now, because of popular demands and requests, we've been actually bringing her back over at the end of October, beginning of November. And she's coming over specifically to do a series of workshops and a couple of presentations, but most of the workshops and to do consultation. She'll be in London, Birmingham, Manchester, and Bristol. And it's just to let people know, the publicity will be out soon to let people know exactly where. In London, she will be at the Art Centre. So it's just to, give people a foresight of what's coming up soon.
Okay then. All right then. So, Jeffter, give thanks. I'm glad to say you was able to share those information. And we're going to encourage people to be there. And the doors open at 6, so please get there for 6. We're going to start 7 o'clock sharp. 7 o'clock is very important. We start on time. See, but people get there early and they network, mill around and meet people, and and then we will have to start 7 o'clock. See, etc. All right. So Jeffter, again, give thanks.
Yeah, again, Dougie, thanks for the opportunity of coming and hail up. I know Minty answered the phone, so again, hail up you and Minty.
Yeah, enough respect, King.
I don't have Jammers in the studio, but...
No, Jammers, I don't know. I don't know what kind of run is Jammers there right now, but it goes, it's called the Jam Master Show, so we have to just... We're brethren still, so, we go back too far, we can't make him... Yeah, so, Jammers. All right, then, so look here. Tomorrow, yeah?
All right, and all right, Minty.
Yeah, man, enough respect, Jeffter.
Yeah. Okay, all right.
Bless your day.
Blessing up.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Yes, I.
Okay, then, so that was Jeffter, and I said at the Mahat Center, and they're talking about tradition herbs. And it something ties into what we was talking about earlier on, the whole thing about herbs, And when we talk about earlier on when they say, you imagine this now, right? And when the brethren, Clatty Clive mentioned this the other day, said that, you know, there's certain herbs you have to take, right? But clean out the body, you know, I think of dandelion, what cleans out the liver, and there's certain herbs you could take to reverse certain health challenges, right? And they will say, people say to you, you need to consult your doctor. But the doctor knows nothing about herbs. he even tells you that. He does not. He'll say to you, he does nothing about herbs. He does not. So why are you consulting your doctor? Yeah, it makes sense. Consult someone who understands about herbs then. Yeah, in fact, you might be able to go in a book or online. Internet. See?
You'll get more benefit from going to the, let me say this correctly. You'll get more knowledge about nutrition from the internet, Dougie, than you will from your doctor.
From your doctor, absolutely.
It's as simple as that.
Say that again, that's very powerful.
You will get more knowledge about nutrition from the internet than you will from your doctor. Because all they know is how the body, parts of the body, how they work. But they don't know what, and they've been told this you work with the stomach, gastrointestinal tract, this is what you take to make it better. Do you understand? But not anything to do with the nutritional value or the foods that can aid beyond the doctor's medicine. So it's you're right, Dougie. It's that's why it's important again. We're saying let's get to know about nature, about natural ailments, man, because anything that I hear anyone have, I always go look up natural ailments for this thing, and they're always telling you about lemon or ginger or garlic or something, or a concoction of different things, apple cider vinegar, something, Dougie, which is going to be beneficial for your health, man. And if it's natural, it can only but benefit you, man. So it's just so important that we just really get back to nature, man.
I hear that?
That's the con there, Dougie.
Yeah, go back to nature, you know. So that's what we are doing right about now. So we're jamming upon the Jam Master Show. So we're talking about health, and a little bit later on we were talking about the event was taking place in October with Sarah Sutton Sethi. Yeah, Sarah Sutton Sethi. What's her name? Sarah Sutton Sethi. Yes. Right? Who will be coming here end of October. So we'll be talking about that. I encourage people to start buying tickets on sale right now. Get tickets. And again, we're looking for, we're really charging up for that event, because that's going to be the major event of the year. See? So we'll be touching about that in a second. So again, you're locked into the big one, to the Jam Master Show. And again, we need to give thanks to all those who are part of the management and etc.
Awesome. Thank you, Dave, for being on the show. We really appreciate this.
I'm really excited to be here after all this whole trip.
Yeah. Well, I stumbled across your work, years ago, but I was really interested in the work that you've done with urine therapy, and I know that you've done some interviews on urine therapy, and I'm curious. It's kind of a weird subject. Most people are averse to it. Have you been doing any urine therapy on this trip yourself?
Yeah, I do it every day. I mean, I've been doing it every day, pretty much every day for the last 6 years.
And I saw that you fasted on your own urine for some time. How long did you fast for?
I did a 30-day urine fast.
Oh my goodness!
Which, no food or water. It was just urine. I tried looping everything that I produced, but I ended up, I was going like every 15 minutes, so I had to cut back a bit. But yeah, it was just urine.
So they say that as you continue to cycle the urine through your body, you pee more often, right?
You do, and it gets clearer and clearer.
Okay.
It does change. It's weird because your body's adjusting all the time, so it kind of changes its taste and it kind of varies. So you just have to, it doesn't follow any kind of pattern. Your body's, a dynamic system. So, all these things, change as you go along, it's just very strange, because I was actually healing stuff in that 30 days.
I bet.
And so my body was adjusting, so the urine was adjusting along with it.
What do you think you were healing?
Oh, I healed my asthma. My lungs repaired themselves.
Really?
Yeah. I had asthma. I've had asthma since I was a child.
Wow.
And it was chronic. I nearly died from it once. And literally, my lungs were the lungs of a 70-year-old. After my fire department medical, they told me that, and they were going to take me off the breathing apparatus. So 4 days into the fast, I had this urge to run. I was doing a walk, and I had this urge to run.
I think you talked about that in one of your videos, didn't you?
Yes.
A video in a park somewhere in London or something, right?
Yeah.
In England, yeah.
So I was walking, I had this urge to run, and I ran for half a mile. And bear in mind, before that, it was like I
never ran before.
I could run for about.
Okay then. So what we're gonna know, there's a couple of events we want to mention. I just let people know that Jeff, that we just spoken earlier on, will be at the event we're hosting at HCVS. That's in on Dalston Lane. Minty will give us some general information, but he'll be there definitely on the 10th, speaking about diabetes. And I encourage people to come down there and hear what I say about diabetes and how we reverse it, and the certain herbs you can take, what he took, and also Lyndon will be there as well. But Minty, you want to read that some information?
Yeah, for sure. Please? This is Find Your Voice events in association with Hackney CVS, and it's sponsored by Crazy Copy. Proudly presents the truth about prostate and bowel cancer, diet and diabetes. A 3-week series of solution-orientated conversations. Also, there will be a question and answer session there. This is on Monday, the 10th of September, but the events will also be the 17th and the 24th. So it's a 3-week series of events which are solution-orientated and given solutions to all these ailments. So there will be a panel discussion and a question and answer session. The statistics say that 1 in 4 black men will develop prostate cancer. Black people are 60 to 80%, depending on what survey you look, more likely to develop diabetes. We'll be looking at the importance of educating black people on conditions that disproportionately affect us. 1 in 4 okay, we've read that. It says the bowel cancer is the second biggest cancer killer in the UK. 1 in 2 black Africans or African Caribbean people will develop diabetes. We will look at the importance and future of education in relation to these ailments. These are all free events, by the way, so just bring yourself. The venue. There's no information on there.
Okay. The venue is at...
it's on Dalston Lane, anyway.
It's on Dalston Lane.
What is it? The Agala Centre?
Yes. Okay. I mean, you got...
Let me... Yeah, I'm going to look for it. Okay, I'll look for it.
It's 24 to 30 Dalston Lane. I'm just looking at the flyer. I'm just surprised that the flyer's got the address on there.
That's...
Has
it got your number there, though, so people can call at least?
So... Alright, someone's just print this off from without my number on there. Okay then, so if people want more information, in fact, it's just next door to the CLR James Library. In fact, if you know where the old CLR James Library used to be, it's just there. So, for example, if you come at the station, Dalston Junction station, and you turn right, it's literally about 30 seconds walk from the
It's the Aniga Centre, Anija Centre, 24 to 30 Dalston Lane, right next door to CLR James Library. That's Dalston Lane, E8 3AZ, and that's in Dalston, as you probably presumed. So the dates again will repeat. It's this first event, what Dougie mentioned, with Lyndon Vasco will be there, and also the great Jeff who spoke earlier. This event is on the 10th of September. But there will also be a continuation of these discussions on the 17th and the 24th of September. So same time, same place. So put it in your diaries. because it will be really an education on how to have ultimate health, maximum health. Dalston Junction and Dalston Kingland are the nearest stations, and actually Dalston Junction is probably, although they're right next door, like 50 yards apart, aren't they, Dougie? One's on Kingsland Road. You come out of there, you take a right, and then you take the crossover and take the first left, which is Dalston Lane, and you'll see Dalston Junction Station. When you come out to Dalston Junction Station on Dalston Lane, you take a right and walk down 2 minutes, and you're almost there. The buses that go there are the 30, 38, 56, 67, 76, 149, 236, 242, 243, and 277. For more information, contact Brother Dougie on 07882 403 871. 07882 403 871. I'm just going to repeat the information so we're clear. Find Your Voice in association with Hackney CVS proudly presents the truth about prostate cancer, diabetes, prostate cancer and diabetes. A 3-week series of solution orientated conversations. There will be a panel discussion and a question and answer session. 1 in 4 black men will develop prostate cancer, the statistics say. Black people are 60 to 80% more likely to develop diabetes, and it depends what survey you read, of course. We will be looking at the importance of educating our people on the conditions that disproportionately affect us. We know we suffer in abundance. Enough people in the black community suffer from diabetes. We want to reverse that, and people like Jeffter, Vasco, of course, and Lyndon, all 3 of them have reversed it naturally. So you don't necessarily need the medication, but if you're on it, I'm not going to tell you to stop taking it, but we'll give you the tools so that you can maybe, if you feel confident enough, come off of that and just stay with the good eating, good diet, and exercise. They're the 2 keys that these brothers will be promoting. These 3 brothers will be promoting. So this is a series of free events. And the venue is the Aniga Centre, or the Aniga Centre. That's ANIGHA Centre, 24 to 30 Dalston Lane, E8 3AZ. The date is Monday the 10th for this specific event with diabetes, but the events are also the 17th and the 24th of September. The time, forgive me if I didn't mention it, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m, so it's an afternoon event. These are free events, I've got to emphasize, so don't worry about, just bring money, bring food if you want to share.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Water, etc. You know.
We're going to bring some.
Yeah, man. And make it a real African affair, man. So Dalston Junction and Dalston Kingsland are the 2 stations. The nearest station is Dalston Junction, and it's literally 2 minutes away from the venue. Dalston Kingsland is 5 minutes away from the venue. The buses are 30, 38, 56, 67, 76, 149, 236, 242, 243, and 277. For more information, contact Brother Dougie on 07882 403 871. That's 07882 403 871.
Okay then, so that's the information for the event was taking place, and as we said, it's over 3 weeks, the 10th, the 17th, and the 24th, right? And we're focusing around health, right? The whole thing about prostate, diabetes, cancer, bowel cancer, you know, we're going all kind of aspect around health, and we're looking at solutions as well. See, solutions as well. Yes, we can talk about certain situation, but at the same time, we can do how we can reverse it. See, okay then. So we're gonna spend a little bit of time talking about an event that's gonna take place in end of October. I wonder if Minty got some information about the set. That's the one with the Speakers Club.
Yes, of course.
So what Minty's going to do?
I'm going to just look for the flyer.
Sorry, Minty. Sorry to.
That's okay, brother. No worries.
To have him, because he's got to find information.
This is what we have to do in the community. We're community people, Dougie. So we have to.
Yeah.
It's no problem. Let me just find it, Dougie. Now I will just come to you.
and Minty's going to find information and share that. So what's going to take place on that day there is a Speakers of the Year award, and we do have a special guest from the States will be coming in. Sarah Set, what's her name?
Sarah Sutton Setti.
Sarah Sutton Setti, who will be there here presenting. He'll be talking. Yeah, and he's an amazing individual. You know, amazing individual. And if you go up online, you know, he's phenomenal online. Again, this is hosted by the Speakers Club. You know,
Sure.
I know that Jam's working hard behind the scene. Probably that's the reason why he's not here right now. But he's trying to put things in place right now as we're speaking. See? So, you got the information?
Yeah, I got some information there,
Yes.
Dougie, yeah.
Thank you very much.
So this is the Speakers Club Awards. This is Saturday 27th of October, and that's Saturday, of course, that's this year. So that'll be a great Black History Month event. And we're going to have, of course, the great Sarah Sutton Setti. Now, just to give a little background on Sutton Setti. Sarah Sutton Setti was probably one of the first ones to start debating, Dougie. You know, you see Umar Johnson debating such and such and polite. And he was the first one to really get the youths and different people really interested in it. Although, don't get me wrong, I know that Dr. Ben but he made it popular, sort of Sutton Setti.
Okay.
And he in a lot of his videos, he does use certain language which is colourful, we'll say. But you know, I've met him. He's a very nice brother. He's very calm and he's very African centered. Funny thing is, Dougie, there was a video of him that Jam sent it to me, where he's just really fighting down religion. And there's a point where he's going, "That's anti-Garvey. That's anti-Garvey," and he's going, "That's against Africa." He's just really focused on preserving our culture, Dougie. And that's why I like and respect this brother. It was certain people from the nation and certain people from the American community. Have you heard it, Dougie? This video, yeah. You've heard it, yeah.
Jam was showing me the other day. Yeah, very powerful. It's good info. I mean, I agree. I would think the language might be a bit
strong, colourful, but we'll tell him.
Yeah.
Like he was on when he was on my show, you should have seen. And when he was on your show, of course, Dougie, tone it down, and he's very respectful, Sarah Sutton Setti. His style appeals to a certain audience, which may not Dr. Ben or John Henrik Clarkson or Ashra Kwesi may not reach. But, you know, look past his colourful language, and you see he does talk a lot of sense. And he won't be swearing on the night. There'll be none of that. We're not bringing him over to do none of that. He's going to be talking about aspects of African culture, and it's going to be a fantastic event. So Sarah Sutton Setti was also, his name was boosted, as you remember, Dougie, because it was around the time he came with the Umar Johnson, wasn't he?
Umar. That's when I first took notice of him. I didn't know about him at all. See, and when I saw the stuff online, it's quite interesting. And twos, he was here, and you know, able to have a conversation with him. But that's how he really got himself really boosted up. Really, people like myself who do know about him, could know about him, hear about him, and so probably done some favors, really.
Well, I think it did, because Umar Johnson's probably got the highest profile out of the new school, and although Sarah Sutton Setti was well known already, you know, Dougie, I just think that it's like, maybe not the same, but it's like Kendrick Lamar. You may not know Kendrick Lamar's a rapper who mentioned in one of his verses he's the king of New York and he's from LA, and it creates the big hype in hip hop, and that's what really made him get well known. And that's really, so in a sense he was already known, Kendrick Lamar, that's why he was on the record, but this blew him up to another level basically. So we could say the same about Sutton Setti. You're right, Dougie. But yeah, he's a great talker. He's well versed, he's very knowledgeable, he's well read, and he's very, very calm. He's a very humble brother. Because
see, the thing that we'll play some of his stuff, but because again the language is not very, we have to be, we have to be mindful and thing. But again, come out and hear. Of course, there's gonna be a lot of people gonna come out and see him.
Definitely.
A lot of people gonna come out and see him. So he's an amazing individual. So over the weeks we'll be talking and try to hype it up, encourage people to come out, and do your research, go online, check him out. He's got enough information on YouTube, and you know, it's amazing individual.
Yeah,
You know?
let me just say, yeah, this is the Speakers Club. It's on the Saturday, the 27th of the 10th of October 2018. It's going to be a Bernie Grant Art Centre, which is Town Hall Approach, which is in Tottenham, N15. The nearest tube station is Seven Sisters. The event starts at 7, it finishes at 11. If you want some, and on the event will be, of course, the great Sarah Sutton Seti, all the way from D-Town, Detroit, in USA. Jammers will be on there. The word scientist, he'll be giving his spiel, and also Edison Agbanje will also be there. African spirituality he'll be discussing. So we've got a trinity of great talkers, and it will be a fantastic event. So that's going to be Saturday the 27th of the 10th, Saturday the 27th of October 2018. That's this year. This will be a great Black History Month event. It's a Town Hall Approach, which is Bernie Grant's Art Centre. Town Hall Approach. That's in Tottenham, N15. I don't have the exact postcode, forgive me, but we'll have the information next time. If you want any information, I'm going to give you the number. So get your pens ready, yeah? The number is 07931 417 553. I will repeat. 07931 417 553. So that will be the return of the General Sarah Sutton Seti, 27th of the 10th, 2018. It should be an excellent event. We're really looking forward to it. Dougie will be hosting it. I'll be working in the background, supporting jammers, of course, and the whole crew will be there. So get down there if you can, and tickets. Just contact that number for tickets. Tickets at £15, if my memory serves me right. Yeah, so
which is nothing to compare to someone like High Celebrity General coming into the mix.
That's right.
Well, I'm going to play something. Hope it comes through. Take place. I'm going to introduce the panel, and then Errol will do a short presentation. They're going to open up for question answers. We come to talking about prostate cancer. Know then, nobody can argue me right now that cancer is a very serious business. Very serious. Okay then, so what's going to take place? I'm going to introduce the panel, and then Errol will do a short presentation, and then we're going to open up for question answers when we come to talking about prostate cancer. Know then, nobody can argue me right now that cancer is a very serious business. Very serious. And we're talking about prostate cancer. 1 every 4 black men have a challenge when it comes to prostate cancer. Heard I said 1 every 4 black men. And that's serious. That's very serious. So objective is to tackle it issue. Question you ask yourself, well, why is that? And knowing that, how we can reverse it. You know? Because where's a problem, I believe there's a solution. With what we're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
And as I said, where there's a problem, there's a solution. And as Minty was saying earlier on, that everything starts in the mind. Because if you feel there's a problem, you know, you'll be dwelling on the damn problem. Yeah? So we need to start thinking about solutions, moving forward. You know, you know what kills most people who've got health challenges? When they think they're gonna die, you know.
That's right.
When you think, you know, and they will tell you that your body start to shut down. You know, for example, when they said you got cancer, and they say to you, well, you only got a certain amount of time to live, say 6 months, 8 months, or whatever, and then you've told yourself, well, boy, your body actually start to shut down. But there's people who's beating that. You know. There's people who live on this, you know. In fact, that's why I have to go to man like Jeff, you know what I mean? You know, because he said, well, you know what? No, sir, can't make it done, this, sir. right? Lyndon, you know, there's other people as well out there, you see. And the thing is that sometimes when, you know, people feel that when they got a health challenge, they feel that, oh, it's getting old age now and they're supposed to live this for the rest of their life. Nah. A lot of it comes down to our diet and our lifestyle and the way we think it. And Minty made an interesting point earlier on, with related to the sister, that stress is a killer. You know, 'cause what stress does, it actually shuts down the body. You know, and when you're in a toxic environment, it just messes you up. Messes you up physically, mentally, and spiritually as well. So that's why it's important to create an environment, you know, go into nature, breathe, exercise, meditate.
Yes,
I'm talking about exercise. I'm not talking about doing some crazy thing. Just take your time. Your body's made to move. You know what I mean?
That's
You know, I'm getting to learn this about this even more. 'Cause I used to be very active, but I wasn't training properly. I was just pounding my body. You know. See, so. Yes, Minty.
Yeah, no, Dougie, you're absolutely right, my brother. I think that I had a friend, just to say, I had a friend who she got stressed. And what happened with her is she caught shingles as a result of stress. Even the doctor worked that one out for her, Dougie. So everything you're saying is correct, my brother. Stress, the mind, what they call psychosomatic, the mind creates the environment. The mind will create the conditions for the body. How many times have you heard, Dougie, when someone we know is going to pass, ready to pass away? Do you know they're ready? They just, you know, right, I'm good now, I'm good, I feel, I know it. And then they go. It's like the power of life is with your hands, basically, Dougie. It's in your hands, the power of life and death. You know, when Dougie was mentioning all these solutions or these cures for being in tune and being healthy, I mentioned meditation. The reason that Dougie said something very important, that stress stops your connection, your mind-body connection. That's absolutely right. Because while you're thinking about, oh, I've got to do this, oh, why isn't this happening? You're not connecting to your divine self, Dougie.
Yeah.
And that's where all the health and all the beauty comes from, and all the great things you desire and need come from within yourself. It's connecting to that place which is in tune with nature, where it's just peaceful. And you're just feeling good about yourself. You can't feel good about yourself if you're worrying about this, that, and the other. And that's why I say stress is an illusion, Dougie, because it's you create the stress. You know, nothing outside of you has any intrinsic value. It's what value you give it with your mind, Dougie.
Yeah. Everything starts from the mind.
It's the mind.
It's the mind.
And I was having a great conversation about this with Sayom along those lines, you know. And you know, a lot of the stuff he was saying is right. We were discussing about also the cancer and this and that. I said, well, we've got to tell people if they've got cancer, because if there's a problem, we've got to have a solution. But at the same time, what he said was not wrong, bro, about placebo and nocebo, which is the same but in reverse. Placebo is something that you think does you good. It will do you good whether it's actually good for you or not. And nocebo is something, when you think negative, then you'll get negative results. And what he said was absolutely right, my brother. So the mind, let's start in the mind, but certain things are outside of our environment and come into our environment. And if it becomes problematic, we have to create solutions, man. So if we have cancer does exist, and it is there. If it happens, we have to talk about it and say, how can we solve this? We have to, you know, I remember I had the video of there was a video I sent out with the heat that comes off the computer and the radiation, and how it may affect your sperm. Now, you know, most people reacted well, said, yeah, you know what, let me put it on the table now. Now, there was some people who said, you know what, we can't be putting those things in people's minds. And I'm thinking, well, if you've got the thing on your private and it's not doing you good, I'll tell you to take it off. If you're going to put your hand in the fire, I'm not going to say just use the mind. I'm saying don't put your hand in the fire. So I'll say that I think the information was good. It was positive information. It wasn't negative, because we're not expecting you, once you recognize don't put it on your seed, that you're going to continue to think about putting it on your seed. You're not. You're going to think, thank goodness someone told me that. I'm healthy, my health is improved. So that's just my take on it, you know. But I love the fact of the conversation, which is that we shouldn't allow negative things to come in my mind, which is the essence of what we're saying today.
Definitely.
We shouldn't allow negative things, and that's absolutely correct. So, go walk in nature. Do things you love, like the sister was saying before. I'm going back to my love, which is massage therapy. Do what you love, man.
But you see, the massage is very because I mean, I had a massage it's about a year ago because my back was very tight and stiff, and what the guy was saying, I've got a lot of stress around my shoulder and everything, and they was just massaging me. You had to really work. He said, "Boy, Doug, you got a pair of knots."
Knots.
Yeah. Knots
in your body. Yeah, man. Yeah.
And he had to massage it out.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And he said all stress was just build up. You had to really rub and
dig in that. Yeah, deep tissue massage. That's what you needed, Dougie. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right, Dougie. This is what I recommend to people whenever they feel stressed. Beyond meditation, which I think just be still, switch the telly off, just be in your room by yourself, feel your own body energy, man, because that's your healing right there. But beyond that, go for a massage or go for a sauna. How relaxing the sauna is, Dougie, man. How good for you the skin when you come out there, your skin just shine, man. You've released all these nasty toxins from your body. Fantastic. The same with massage. It's knocking out all the physical tightness in your system. Fantastic, man. I really encourage people to do these because, not to say the stress we deal with, we don't deal with stress, but these effects can kind of accumulate over a period of time, Dougie, and you don't even realize it because you're so busy trying to help others and trying to do this. And when you're helping others, you've got to give time for yourself sometimes. So the massage and the sauna and and walking in nature is time for yourself.
Absolutely. What I'm going to do, I'm going to play a quick advert of the event that was taking place.
In association with Hackney CVS presents Truth About Prostate Cancer, Bowel Cancer, Diabetes and Education. This will be focused around solutions over 3 weeks. 1 in 4 black men will develop prostate cancer. 1 in 2 black African and Caribbean people will develop diabetes. Bowel cancer is the second biggest cancer killer in the UK. There'll be a panel discussion focused around answers.
Monday the 10th of September at the Adia Antigua Centre, 24 to 30 Dalston Lane, E8 3AZ. Next door to CLR James Library, 2 minutes walk from Dalston Junction Station.
Dates again, Monday the 10th, the 17th, 24th of September, all on a Monday. Time 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. For more information, contact Brother Dougie on 0788240371. This is a free event.
The present moment is sometimes unacceptable, unpleasant, or awful.
It is as it is. Observe how the mind labels it and how this labeling process, this continuous sitting in judgment, creates pain and unhappiness. By watching the mechanics of the mind, you step out of its resistance patterns, and you can then allow the present moment to be. This will give you a taste of the state of inner freedom from external conditions, the state of true inner peace. Then see what happens and take action if necessary or possible. Accept, then act. Whatever the present moment contains, accept it as if you had chosen it. Always work with it, not against it. Make it your friend and ally, not your enemy. This will miraculously transform your whole life. As long as you are unable to access the power of the now, every emotional pain that you experience leaves behind a residue of pain that lives on in you. It merges with the pain from the past, which was already there, and becomes lodged in your mind and body. This, of course, includes the pain you suffered as a child, caused by the unconsciousness of the world into which you were born. This accumulated pain is a negative energy field that occupies your body and mind. If you look on it as an invisible entity in its own right, you're getting quite close to the truth. It's the emotional pain body. It has two modes of being, dormant and active. The pain body may be dormant 90% of the time. In a deeply unhappy person, though, it may be active up to 100% of the time. Some people live almost entirely through their pain body, while others may experience it only in certain situations, such as intimate relationships, or situations linked with past loss or abandonment, physical or emotional hurt, and so on. Anything can trigger it, particularly if it resonates with a pain pattern from your past. When it is ready to awaken from its dormant stage, even a thought or an innocent remark made by someone close to you can activate it. Some pain bodies are obnoxious but relatively harmless, for example like a child who won't stop whining. Others are vicious and destructive monsters, true demons. Some are physically violent, many more are emotionally violent. Some will attack people around you or close to you, while others may attack you, their host. Thoughts and feelings you have about your life then become deeply negative and self-destructive. Illnesses and accidents are often created in this way. Some pain bodies drive their hosts to suicide. When you thought you knew a person and then you are suddenly confronted with this alien, nasty creature for the first time, you are in for quite a shock. However, it's more important to observe it in yourself than in someone else. Watch out for any sign of unhappiness in yourself, in whatever form. It may be the awakening pain body. This can take the form of irritation, impatience, a somber mood, a desire to hurt, anger, rage, depression, a need to have some drama in your relationship, and so on. Catch it the moment it awakens from its dormant state. The pain body wants to survive, just like every other entity in existence, and it can only survive if it gets you to unconsciously identify with it. It can then rise up, take you over, become you, and live through you. It needs to get its food through you. It will feed on any experience that resonates with its own kind of energy, anything that creates further pain in whatever form. Anger, destructiveness, hatred, grief, emotional drama, violence, and even illness. So the pain body, when it has taken you over, will create a situation in your life that reflects back its own energy frequency for it to feed on. Pain can only feed on pain. Pain cannot feed on joy. It finds it quite indigestible. Once the pain body has taken you over, you want more pain. You become a victim or a perpetrator. You want to inflict pain, or you want to suffer pain, or both. There isn't really much difference between the two. You're not conscious of this, of course, and you will vehemently claim that you do not want pain. But look closely and you will find that your thinking and behavior are designed to keep the pain going, for yourself and others. If you were truly conscious of it, the pattern would dissolve. For to want more pain is insanity, and nobody is consciously insane. The pain body, which is the dark shadow cast by the ego, is actually afraid of the light of your consciousness. It is afraid of being found out. Its survival depends on your unconscious identification with it, as well as on your unconscious fear of facing the pain that lives in you. But if you don't face it, if you don't bring the light of your consciousness into the pain, you will be forced to relive it again and again. The pain body may seem to you like a dangerous monster that you cannot bear to look at, but I assure you that it is an insubstantial phantom that cannot prevail against the power of your presence. Some spiritual teachings state that all pain is ultimately an illusion, and this is true. The question is it true for you? A mere belief doesn't make it true. Do you want to experience pain for the rest of your life and keep saying that it is an illusion? Does that free you from the pain? What we are concerned with here.
So it's quite interesting. Listen to the recording, and he said that, do you want to live with pain for the rest of your life? You know? Do you want, you see, I shall put this, right? That some of us create our own reality. And I'm going to be quite straight, because do you want to be, always ask yourself, right? Where do you want to be this time next year? Do you want to be in the same situation? Right? Because most of us hold on to stuff, right? And we always want to blame. I mean, yes, there is some of that, but you have to take responsibility, right? And we hold on to all this stuff, and we don't want to forgive and let go. You know, love has come down to what relationship you have with your parents, and sometimes, let's face it, your parents only know what they know at that particular time. You know, at that particular time.
That's right, Dougie.
You know what I mean? See? So you have to be more wise today and say, well, all right then, they know that, but I'm more wiser now, and you understand what they done, this and that. But we want to blame and this and that and blame people in the past, and they forgot all about that. They're not busy about you. And when you go and say, sure, that you remember them Monday, remember that person, remember that woman there, and you know, sometimes a woman might left you, right? And you say, sure, you have a beef with that particular person. So what? It's just a journey. Look at life as a journey. But a key thing, right, as part of the journey, what have you learned? You know, everything's a journey. See? So I know Minty's done a lot of work in this particular area. You all think about the mind, and you all think about mental health, you know, and he's very he's a student, you know, of all this, because he's done a lot, you know. See, after my Minty, because you see some people just love to talk. Not wrong talking. But with Minty now, he studies, does his research. So when he comes with practical information and facts, and based on the experience as well, because he's worked with people with certain mental health condition and so forth. See, that's what I mean. I always talk about the mind, you know, the mind. So Minty, I want to bring into the mix.
Yeah, man, give thanks for that, Dougie. Just picks me up way too much stuff at the time, you know. So thank you for that, Dougie. I appreciate love that. Yeah. You know, there are people who know a lot more than me. I just know what I know, but what we know has helped people, so we just try and maintain and to keep on sharing and researching about the mind. Yes, I have worked in mental health, and you know, I didn't take the standard approach or the clinical approach to mental health. I studied the great psychologists like Amos N. Wilson and Naeem Akbar, Francis Cresswell Singh to a lesser extent, and people like that, and their analysis of the mind, especially from an African perspective. But I have been involved in mental health. I have worked in the mental health social services for a number of years, so we've got a bit of experience in understanding that particular aspect of mind work, if you like. So it's not just talking about the workings of the mind or the workings of consciousness, but actually the practical side where medication is involved and you're actually visiting people in their homes who have got mental displacement. So this is where some of my experience lies. Now, I do have a great interest in the mind, again, because to me the mind is central to our success and our failure. There's a great song by Richie Spice which I mention on a number of occasions. It's called Make It, and it's talking about you've got to confident yourself if you want to make it. You've got to motivate yourself if you want to make it. And there's a line in the song which to me is it says it all about you and your condition. It says it all about you and what you can achieve. The line is, you've got to speak it into being. Yes? You've got to speak it into being. What he's simply saying, this humble Rastaman is saying, is that the power is in your mind. It's in the way you think. It's in what you communicate. Word, sound, power, we say in Rasta. It means that the word is the thought. The sound is the manifestation of the thought, which is the speaking. And the power is the vibration. So if I say Bob Marley, that brings, for most people, a positive vibration. If I say Adolf Hitler, for many people it will bring a negative vibration. I'm sure the far right will be happy, but most people are not feeling Adolf Hitler. So the words that we speak to others, and more importantly to ourselves, are very powerful. Now if you say to yourself every single day, I am going to speak it into being. I desire to be a successful radio DJ, a successful teacher. I'm going to speak it into being. I'm going to claim it. I'm going to own it. This is what you've got to do. This is your responsibility and your duty, to claim what it is you want. This universe, in my view, is like a soup. We're all parts, carrots, onions, noodles, etc., etc. We're all parts of the soup. Each part affects the other parts. So your vibrations that you give out affect the universe, so it's like a ripple effect. Your thoughts are like a pebble getting dropped into the river. There's a ripple which permeates throughout the whole universe. That's the power of your thought. And that's why it's important that you think positive thoughts. We always encourage you. Now, this brother, I'm not sure who it was. It may have been a brother called Eckhart Tolle, who wrote a book called The Power of Now. When working in mental health, for example, there are certain resources that we encourage the clients to use that will enable them to reconnect with the peaceful part of the mind, as opposed to letting the external world and its issues affect the way they think. So for example, if a client is getting hype or is getting excited, we tell them to take 10 deep breaths. Excuse me. Now this is right at the heart of the matter, you know, because a lot of the people in social services, in the mental health, the clinical aspect of mental health, they just say it because they've been taught it, but they may not understand why. Well, we're going to break down why it's important, what the brother was talking about, being in the now, being present, being live. Don't believe, but be live. What the brother was saying was, be present, get present. Now, when you breathe, what you do is you focus on your breath. Your breath is always present. It's always in the now. You're always breathing now, aren't you? Breathe. When you're breathing in the present moment. So when you focus on your breath, you're actually focusing on the present moment. And he said it, and that's correct. If you just focus on your breath, you don't think about the past and you don't think about the future. You think about now. All the power you need is now. So when you're going to say a positive affirmation, you're saying it presently, you're saying it now. I am a successful African. I am a powerful being. I think we've got a call here. So we're going to take this call. Greetings, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Oh, sorry, I must have the wrong number. Thank you.
That's okay, sis.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bless you. Yes, so as we were saying, that the breath, when you breathe, you're actually in the present moment, and it is of the greatest importance to recognize that when you're in the present moment, you are not thinking about your past and you're not thinking about the future, because the only moment is the present moment. If you ask a tree what time it is, not that you could ask a tree, but let's be hypothetical for a moment. If you ask a tree what time it is, the tree will say the time is now. The tree will say the time is now. The tree's not worried about the past. The tree's not worried about the future. The tree's only in the present moment, like Mother Nature is. And this is how we have got to be. This is how we connect back to the nature. And connecting back to your nature is connecting back to your nature. And part of your nature is your breath. And what that does, it stops you being stressed, because what you're stressing about is something that's making you anxious for the future, or something that's upset you in the past. Usually, people have mental health issues, I'm talking about clinically, about stuff that's happened in the past, which they focused on and they can't get rid of. Some say it's a chemical imbalance sometimes, but essentially, it's about things that have happened in your past, which, and Dougie said it earlier, you're focusing on, you're not letting go of the past, that's it. That's what keeps you in, he said, the pain body, but it really, what he's saying, we're really talking about was keeping you in the past. It's a bruised ego. It's keeping you in the past, and we don't want to connect to that past, because when you live in the past, you stay in the past. When you stay in the past, you're living in the past, and it's no good, because all the success you want is in this present moment. Intuition happens when you're present. It doesn't happen in the future, or it happens now. So if you want to tune into that intuition, you have to be present. If you want to tune into that powerful energy that dwells within you, you have to be present. There's a powerful energy within you, and you cannot connect to it if you're not connected to the present moment, and you're not connected to yourself. In Rastafari, we have a saying, it's a saying, I don't use it, but I get it. It says, Jah live. Now, the word believe is, so live, live, alive, live it, they've all got the word live in them, live, living. So living is to be live, be present. So when we talk about live, so when we talk about the word believe, we don't say we believe in ourselves, but be live in yourself. You understand? Don't believe in yourself, be live in yourself. And what that means is to be present to the divine energy, the divine principle, that powerful energy that dwells within you. Be present to it. That's what it means. Be live in yourself. Be live in your success. That also means, that, which is what a lot of the great psychologists say, is that if you want to create something, you've got to create it in your minds first. So you must be live in your mind and act like you've got the thing right now. And that's being live. Be live. Believing is to be living. You understand? So don't be live. Believe in yourself. Be live in yourself. Be at one with yourself. Feel your heartbeat. Feel your energy. Feel your toes touching the ground. Just focus on that. Take your shoes off and crunch up your feet, and rub your arm and not feel yourself, but you know what I mean. Be in touch with yourself, because the most powerful energy, the greatest energy that you have, is the energy that is present within you at this moment. And if you're focused and worried about things, if you're anxious about the future, and if you're upset about the past, you're never going to tune into that energy that is present, which is live within you. So you won't be live in yourself, which is the greatest thing. And this is what the brother was talking about, the power of now. This is what it means. When you're present in we talk about imagination. When you're focusing in the moment. When you're visualizing in the moment. When you connect to your intuition, it's in the moment. You get this flash of inspiration or illumination or revelation that tells you which way to go or which way not to go, what to do or what not to do. That only happens in the present moment. So to me, it's of the greatest importance for you to get present. So the easiest way to do it is focus on your breath. Breathe 10 times deeply and focus just on your breath alone. See how you feel after those 10 breaths, because even the whole, if you go to a natural place and breathe deeply, man, you feel so good. Some energy's coming in you, man. It's true. You feel good, man. So we can't emphasize enough the power of now. To not believe in yourself, although that's important, but be live in yourself. Whatever you desire in your heart, act as if you've got it right now. One of my favorite sayings is, act like you're the CEO. You see me, Dougie?
Yeah.
Act like you're the CEO.
Yeah.
You know, and another reason it's important, Dougie, because this is something that we were talking about, mental health. When you think about the things that you desire in a positive way, that's creating good energy in your body, man. That's what gets rid of the illnesses, Dougie. That's what detoxifies you. You're putting good energy into your body, into your mind. It makes you feel good. That's why massaging sauna make you feel good. Very important. Do you want to say something, Brother Dougie?
No, because what you're saying, you're absolutely on point, you know. And it's all you see, the thing is this, right? That, all right then, let's put it this way, right? Look at, all right, observe someone who's depressed, right? Shadow breathing, the shoulder is down, they're walking slowly, you know, and you look at the face look kind of twist up and whatever, you know what I mean? They look rugged, right? If you say that person, look here, boy, you know, you've won a lottery, you know, they probably do a somersault and they jump over the place, right? But I'm saying that you can change your physiology just like that.
Definitely.
You know, you can change your physiology just like that. See? So that's why breathing, you know what I mean? Stand firm, stand straight. You know, walk in a certain way. You know? You could change it. You can change your physiology. You can change your physiology. You know? Physically change your physiology. And that's why breathing is very important. Then put it more further, eating more healthy.
Absolutely.
You know, eating more healthy. You know, you don't have to go crazy. Drink a lot more water, fruits, veg. You know, just keep it simple. Cut out certain things out. You know something? And like I said, them time there, I was just didn't know what. Well, I had to do. I was on this event, Anthony Robbins event, and what they say to you after they give you a 9 days challenge, right? And those 9 days challenge, you must eat no dairy product, taking no processed foods, sweets, chocolate, and etc. 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 No fizzy drink, nothing like that. And you know, make sure you do your exercise. Just take your time to do some exercise, everything. And when I done that 9 days challenge, it was tough, right? It was tough. I'm not telling a lie, right? But my energy went right through the roof. You know, and you know what it was? It's take out all those dairy products, all those sweet stuff. You know. See, so you can do it. It can be done. It's not saying it can't be done. It can be done if you put your mind to it. Yeah, you put your mind to it.
No, it's very important what you've said there, Dougie, because what I do is I do this thing called imagination test, and it just shows you how it can make you change the way you feel about yourself.
Okay. Then.
And change your energy, basically. The imagination test is this. Imagine how you'd feel if you're in the middle of nowhere, there's no one about, you're in a country road, and you're walking up and you see a wallet. There's no evidence of who it belongs to, so obviously it's going to be yours. Now, you can take it to the police if you want to, that's up to you. But just imagine finding this thick wallet full of £50 notes, Dougie. Heavy, and just imagine it in your hand. How would it feel? How would you feel if you found that wallet just cram full of 50s and it's in your hand? Imagine that weighing down your hand. How would you feel? Most people would feel ecstatic. You know what I mean? Most people would be really feel good. This is the exact feeling we've got to be embracing all the time, Dougie. So that's why it's important to have a focus on something that's going to make you feel good, Dougie. That's the best way of the best use of the mind. And a lot of people, my mum has a saying called scatterbrain. It means you're thinking, no, focus your energy on something constructive, man.
But that's why it's very important to set goals in life. Absolutely.
Definitely.
You know, take someone like Frank Bruno, right? And when Frank Bruno went through his challenges, if he came to me and Ras Minty, we would have saved him. We would have said to Frank Bruno, listen, all your life you want to be the heavyweight champion of the world, and you achieve it. What's next, Frank? Set yourself another goal.
That's right.
Yourself another goal. But what Frank done, he got himself caught up in all the emotional stuff, and the other things going on and so forth, right? Set yourself goals. Because when you set yourself goals, you're focused. See? You know, it's like, you know when you get them lights, right? And it shines on the grass, right? And it, after a while, the sun goes, it penetrates through it, and you get burns the thing and so forth, right?
That's the power of the mind.
Power of the mind, man.
That's
You know what I mean?
Very good.
Razor, focus, see? And the reason why, to me, reason why people are just willy-nilly over the present page, because they're not focused. That's all it is. They're not focused. You know, if you was focused, you wouldn't get caught up in kind of all this kind of, I would use the word nonsense, you know? But set yourself goals. You know? Goals are very, very important. Because once you have a goal, you'll have a purpose and you have a direction.
That's right.
Yeah. You see, I mean, if you look at certain people, individuals, take someone like George Best, right? Again, a talented footballer. He was loved by, you know, millions of people around the world because of his sports and his personality. But when the football was over, what was the biggest buzz he had? Was drinking. You know, he had nothing to focus around. So him start drink. Because you're trying to create that kind of buzz, that kind of love buzz where you got for everybody. You know? See? Amy Whitehouse. You know? As talented as they are, but they're still having a mask. See, the biggest force in life, hear me carefully, this is pain and pleasure. Most people run from pain to pleasure. That's why you understand why people drink and take crack, cocaine, heroin, everything. Because they're masked up over the years. Certain things they've been carrying and carrying and carrying and carrying. And we see people, you know, it's strange. You know, as big people are, people want to don't get me wrong. People raving and things. People want to go enjoy themselves and so forth. Because I had to go enjoy myself and shake up. Y'all go every single weekend. You drink and you. But some people are going through some stuff. Just mask up the pain they're going through. You know. So we need to recognize this stuff, yeah, and strip it down and deal with the core. And the core is about yourself and developing yourself and get that natural high. And it's about setting a purpose, right? Having a goal and setting a purpose, you know? Because as Les Brown said, I don't know if Les Brown said, but if you're not setting a purpose, you're committing suicide to yourself, really. You know, it's sabotage, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, no, Dougie, what you're saying is absolutely right. Scarvey says something similar, that if you don't set a goal, don't go out in life and be aimless. Black people do not be aimless, because you're going to be like a tree, a boat that has no direction. Boats are going somewhere, Dougie. Yeah. Even if it's to go in the middle of the sea to catch fish, they know where they're going, because they know where the most fish are at whatever season. But if they're going to New York from Liverpool, that's where they're going. They know the direction, they're clear, no one's confused, they're not going, oh, there's an island over there, let's just see what's going on. No, we're focused on the direction we're going. So it's important to have an aim in life, because you don't want to be like driftwood, just floating aimlessly. That's the worst thing you can do as an African in this time. Anybody, you know, but especially black people, because we need as many of our people to rise up, basically, and find themselves and find the purpose and act, more importantly, act on the purpose, Dougie.
Act on the purpose.
Because we can talk about the mind till the cows come home, you know, but you can't make a baby. Let me say this clearly so people don't try and catch me out. You have to do the physical act to make a baby. You can think about it as much as you want to, but you have to. Yeah. So the physical has to play a part. So the action has to play a part. That's the completion. To me, the mind alone is not it, because the physical world has to. How do you know a man, Dougie? By the way he acts. Not just what he says or what he thinks, because that doesn't mean anything. If someone shows you who they are, believe them, it says, man. So with your actions which count, not what you say and what you do, unless it matches with what you do. Sorry, not what you say, what you do. Not what you say or what you think, sorry. But if your actions, your words match with what you do, then we know you're a serious person. So it's not what you say. And also, when we look at our children, Dougie, they're not going to learn to be self-reliant by you just telling them and not manifesting it yourself. You're huge, Dougie. You're going to watch you and go, yes, my dad, I want to be like Bob Marley's kids all want to be like him. Do you understand, Dougie? If you're setting a good example, they just want to copy you. When we look at the Jews in Stamford Hill, they have the kids in the shop behind the till all lifting. Same with the Asians in Walthamstow, same with the Greeks on Green Lanes, Dougie, Chinatown, same way. So we've got to set the example, so it is in the mind, but we've got to bring that mind, as Bob says, in Wake Up and Live. We've got to bring that vision to reality. So when we talk about waking up and live, that's waking up and living. Or being live. That's waking up and living. Is to use your mind. Because remember, I see our minds, we're dream machines, you know, Dougie. We're dream machines. I've seen the way this brother thinks, Dougie Williams, the man who's sitting next to my good friend for 20 odd years. I've seen the way you think. You may not realise it, but something, Dougie's on it, man. You'll say, yeah, I've got this thing in my mind, and and I've got, and then you're breaking down the vision, Dougie. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. That's why you achieve so much, Dougie, because your mind is clear on what you want to do, and you go, bit, and we're just, it's like a computer, we're downloading this thing, bop, 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 these are the phases, bam, and it works every single time. It's never not worked, Dougie. You understand? So this is what I'm saying, we're dream machines. So if you want to be successful, study someone like Dougie. To me, this is the original man who's Mr. Self-Reliance. I've got so much respect for this man. Yeah, because when we talk about not getting government loans, not getting government funding, but creating so many great events for black, this is the man right here, Mr. Self-Reliance, because we put our vision to reality. We're alive, we've woken up and are living our true greatness, basically, Dougie. So this is what I'm talking about. Jammer's the same way. You've got so many ideas and you're just banging them out, man. And that's waking up. When Bob says vision to reality, wake up and live. That's what it means. Wake up to your true power. Wake up to the greatness, which is what Les Brown says all the time. Wake up to the greatness within you. That's it. That's all you need to do. There's not. You don't have to pray. You don't have to wish. You don't have to hope. You don't have to wait for Jesus to come or anything like that. You just have to recognize the greatness within yourself. That's it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Okay then. So we hear the power of Minty. I'm gonna play some more of the recording again, so people can get familiar with what we are dealing with still.
The present moment is sometimes unacceptable, unpleasant, or awful.
It is as it is. Observe how the mind labels it and how this labeling process, this continuous sitting in judgment, creates pain and unhappiness. By watching the mechanics of the mind, you step out of its resistance patterns, and you can then allow the present moment to be. This will give you a taste of the state of inner freedom from external conditions, the state of true inner peace. Then see what happens, and take action if necessary or possible. Accept, then act. Whatever the present moment contains, accept it as if you had chosen it. Always work with it, not against it. Make it your friend and ally, not your enemy. This will miraculously transform your whole life. As long as you are unable to access the power of the now, every emotional pain that you experience leaves behind a residue of pain that lives on in you. It merges with the pain from the past, which was already there, and becomes lodged in your mind and body. This, of course, includes the pain you suffered as a child, caused by the unconsciousness of the world into which you were born. This accumulated pain is a negative energy field that occupies your body and mind. If you look on it as an invisible entity in its own right, you're getting quite close to the truth. It's the emotional pain body. It has two modes of being, dormant and active. The pain body may be dormant 90% of the time. In a deeply unhappy person, though, it may be active up to 100% of the time. Some people live almost entirely through their pain body, while others may experience it only in certain situations, such as intimate relationships, or situations linked with past loss or abandonment, physical or emotional hurt, and so on. Anything can trigger it, particularly if it resonates with a pain pattern from your past. When it is ready to awaken from its dormant stage, even a thought or an innocent remark made by someone close to you can activate it. Some pain bodies are obnoxious but relatively harmless, for example like a child who won't stop whining. Others are vicious and destructive monsters, true demons. Some are physically violent, many more are emotionally violent. Some will attack people around you or close to you, while others may attack you, their host. Thoughts and feelings you have about your life then become deeply negative and self-destructive. Illnesses and accidents are often created in this way. Some pain bodies drive their hosts to suicide. When you thought you knew a person and then you are suddenly confronted with this alien, nasty creature for the first time, you are in for quite a shock. However, it's more important to observe it in yourself than in someone else. Watch out for any sign of unhappiness in yourself, in whatever form. It may be the awakening pain body. This can take the form of irritation, impatience, a somber mood, a desire to hurt, anger, rage, depression, a need to have some drama in your relationship, and so on. Catch it the moment it awakens from its dormant state. The pain body wants to survive, just like every other entity in existence, and it can only survive if it gets you to unconsciously identify with it. It can then rise up, take you over, become you, and live through you. It needs to get its food through you. It will feed on any experience that resonates with its own kind of energy, anything that creates further pain in whatever form. Anger, destructiveness, hatred, grief, emotional drama, violence, and even illness. So the pain body, when it has taken you over, will create a situation in your life that reflects back its own energy frequency for it to feed on. Pain can only feed on pain. Pain cannot feed on joy. It finds it quite indigestible. Once the pain body has taken you over, you want more pain. You become a victim or a perpetrator. You want to inflict pain, or you want to suffer pain, or both. There isn't really much difference between the two. You're not conscious of this, of course, and you will vehemently claim that you do not want pain. But look closely and you will find that your thinking and behavior are designed to keep the pain going for yourself and others. If you were truly conscious of it, the pattern would dissolve. For to want more pain is insanity, and nobody is consciously insane. The pain body, which is the dark shadow cast by the ego, is actually afraid of the light of your consciousness. It is afraid of being found out. Its survival depends on your unconscious identification with it, as well as on your unconscious fear of facing the pain that lives in you. But if you don't face it, if you don't bring the light of your consciousness into the pain, you will be forced to relive it again and again. The pain body may seem to you like a dangerous monster that you cannot bear to look at, but I assure you that it is an insubstantial phantom that cannot prevail against the power of your presence. Some spiritual teachings state that all pain is ultimately an illusion, and this is true. The question is it true for you? A mere belief doesn't make it true. Do you want to experience pain for the rest of your life and keep saying that it is an illusion? Does that free you from the pain? What we are concerned with here is how you can realize this truth, that is, make it real in your own experience. So the pain body doesn't want you to observe it directly and see it for what it is. The moment you observe it, feel its energy field within you and take your attention into it.
Okay then, so Minty.
Yes, I.
You seem to be the mind man at the moment.
No.
Yeah.
You say I'm in my mind, or maybe I'm out of my mind.
Yeah. So what we want to bring to the table?
Well, you know, I think that's Eckhart Tolle actually, and this brother wrote.
Oh, you know about him?
Yeah. You know, it's funny, you know, Dougie, because when I used to, as you know me, Doug, I'm a musician. That's my route. When I used to travel to America, it's funny. I used to travel to different cities, and when I heard about this book in England. And then when I got to New York, I met some people who were talking about the book. I said, okay, right. And I went to LA, people were talking about it. I'm thinking, okay, wow. So when I went to Miami, that was the last city I visited. I saw the book. I said, well, that's a sign right there, man. So I bought it. It's a fantastic book, man. So again, we're talking about the present moments, and you mentioned Pain Body on a number of occasions. I'm not going to go too deeply into that. Just stuff which I think we can hopefully relate to. He has a saying which I love. It is what it is, Dougie.
It is what it is, yeah.
People don't get that saying. They don't understand it. Some people just say it, use it loosely. It is what it is the ultimate state, Dougie, actually, man. And what it means is that this is how I interpret it. Whatever you're perceiving, it's not good, it's not bad, it's not right, and it's not wrong. It is what it is. And it's what, going back to what we were talking about, when nothing outside of you has intrinsic value. It's just whatever value you give it. So if you don't give it value, then it is what it is, Dougie. You know. So if you see a man who's walking funny, you might buzz off and go, ah, or you might feel sorry for him, or you just say, it's just a man who's walking. Maybe he's got his leg is. But it is what it is. You understand what I'm saying, Dougie? There's no judgment to cast on it. Do you understand, Dougie? There's nothing to say about this man. He's just a man who's walking, which is not necessarily the same as the next one, but it's not to buzz off him, it's not to say feel sorry for him. It is what it is. Yeah, it's not bad, it's not good, it is just as it is. So it's about refraining from judgment, essentially, Dougie. Because this is the way we free ourselves from pain, essentially, Dougie. Because if you have a relationship, you can either learn from the relationship, or you're going to make the same mistakes, or you don't learn from it. If you learn from it, then you can move forward to a better relationship. If you don't learn from it, if you do learn from it, then, if you don't learn from it, then you're going to go and have the same relationship, basically. So, so it just depends on what judgments you make on the relationship. So this is what I love, this saying, it is what it is. And like I said, this is the heart of the matter. Because you hit it on the head. That's what I'm saying. You hit it on the head when you talk about pain and pleasure, Dougie. People aren't saying it is what it is. They want to get rid of what their judgment call is, basically, about the life. And it's going back to another great statement you make about the drunk who has a son who's good. And a son. Do you understand what I'm saying, Dougie? You see me? Go on, brother.
Yeah, it's quite interesting because, you know, everything comes down to your perspective. Everything comes down to it. You know what I mean? You know, and there's a story I tell all the time, right? And in fact, it's a true story. In fact, many people relate to this story and family to their own family, you know. And this father had 2 sons, right? In fact, they were a year apart from each other, right? And it seems that the father was very abusive. He was a drunkard and very abusive, you know. And it seems that the father passed when he was in his late, probably 60s, yeah. Anyway, it so happens that one of the sons, them, after about 5-6 years, become very successful. In fact, he become a multi-millionaire, right? Become very successful. And the other son, right, become a failure. You know, he went to prison, he was on crack cocaine, and he made a mess of himself, right? Now, it's a true story, I'm telling you this, right? And you know what's interesting? When they interview the sons, them, right, they asked the first son, why is it you're so successful? What, you know, how comes, you know, why, you know? He said, you know, if you had a dad like mine, what would you do? Let me repeat that. If you had a dad like mine, what would you do? And they asked the other son, right, who become a failure. you know, become hooked on crack cocaine and made a mess of his life, and he went to prison, and I asked him, so what happened to you? He said, if you had a dad like mine, what would you do? You know, everything comes down to what? Your perception. Everything comes down to to you. You could be a failure, or you could be successful. See,
depending on how you deal with the things
yes,
that happen to you,
happen
Dougie,
to
how
you.
you respond to
How
them.
say that again.
Depending on how you deal with, respond to the experiences in your environment.
Into your environment.
Absolutely, man.
You see? You know? And as you know that in certain families, you know, you have someone who's doing well and someone's doing some crazy things for a reason. You know? I know some family, you know what I mean? One boy to become a murderer and this and that, and one become a fly educator, and you know, and you probably find some boy, they both had the same upbringing, but it's how they respond. You know what I mean? One would say, boy, I don't want to steer, so you know, look at the environment, I just want to get my head down, and one said, sure, I just keep blaming. That situation I'm in, and yeah, see? So, you understand the whole thing about the mind, how you could perceive, and, you know, you see, it's very fickle, you know. You know, you tune into a radio station. You just want to tune in, and you know, and so if you don't tune too good, you out, you know. That's my whole. It's like your mind, you know, tune to the right frequencies. You know, tune to the right. See, if you tune in to the environment, tune among positive people, you know, read, listen to positive books, and you know. Just take your time. You know, you find you're tuning and you're tuning, you know. But we've got to take responsibility. You can't be about blaming.
What you're saying is absolutely right, Dougie. Let me just read out the number quickly. If you want to phone or text. This is Jam Master Show with hosts, Brother Dougie and myself, Ras Minty. The number is 07944 431 366. 07944 431 366. Just to add on to what Dougie's saying, yeah, it's the brother who was drunk, was blaming and was upset and was making judgment calls and was getting wound up, and even the brother who wasn't upset and who become a success was probably pointed the finger at his dad but said, I'm not going to be like you. And he's the one who comes to the conclusion, it is what it is. It didn't stop me from getting what it was. It was what it was. I made the most of the situation. And now I'm here as a success, basically. Rastafari, the man called Ras Dragon in the house, man. Blessed love, my brother. Give thanks, man. Yeah, so it is what it is essentially what we're talking about. Rastafari Dragon. What we're talking about, it is what it is essentially. It's about controlling your emotions, Dougie. That's what it's saying. Don't judge people. Don't get emotional. But when we talk about getting emotional, we're not talking about. When we talk about getting emotional, we're talking about negative emotion. Don't allow negative emotion.
No, you're absolutely right. And it's about controlling your emotion. You know, you see on the news, on the news, you know, all over where, you know, you have some you were going to a school, couldn't get upset and shoot up everybody. You know, that just shows you he's not in control of his emotions. You know, what is it? What drive him to do that? Just lost it. You know, I mean, that's an extreme, but it happens. You know, you hear a case where a man will have an argument with his missus and she might wind him up, and this thing won't kill her.
Called crimes of passion, Dougie.
Crimes of passion, you see what I'm saying? Of what? He's not in control of his emotions.
That's right, Dougie.
You see? You know? And we need to be in control of emotion. You know, that's why Minty said earlier on, there's certain tools you can use. Breathing able to relax, calm, you know, and to get someone to wind you up, right? The fact that you want to kill them, right, says a lot about yourself, you know. I mean, yes, we understand people's self-defense and, you know, someone try to attack you and everything. But if you're at home and you know, your queen or Guan, and you know it go already. You know, it's two things. Either you shouldn't be that person there, if she's dissing you, right? Right. One thing you should do is just walk out, walk away, and you know, and if you do come back when things is calm down, talk to her and blah 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 blah. You know, but to kill, you want lose your cool and just see. But these things happen. You know.
But when you think about the youths, Dougie, they're in an environment where they've been brought up in, you could say, an emotional environment.
That's right.
A lot of them don't have fathers, and when it comes to the mother and the mothers are more emotional than the fathers. The father's role is to balance the queen's with practicality. The queen's role is to connect the man more to his emotion, but his positive emotion, the love, because women want love, the love and energy, But if they haven't got that balance of the man, then that love can turn into hate or bitterness, Dougie. You know what I mean? And you're pointing the finger at the youth, you're just like your dad and all this stuff, you know what I'm saying?
And Minty's absolutely right, because what's happened that you bring that negative emotion, that energy, right? And you say that you're just like your dad, just like your papa, you know? And then already, you know, he gets resentment, because he ain't bring that kind of love and so forth. And then again, he looks at dad, says dad is workless and everything, right? And his dad's not around, and he becomes, the only friends he has are the people who love him, people on the street probably, you know, who are doing the kind of manage what he's doing, you know, or get involved with them kind of stuff there, you know. And see the vicious side. That's why love is very important. It's very powerful. In fact, no human being can survive without love. You know, you're better sufficient in that individual. You know, love and care. You know, once you can show love and care, you have that person there. You have them, because all they want at the end, everybody looking to be loved. You know. You know, if you go to a dance, you know, you could be the baddest man in the world. When a lovers rock come on, you want a woman to dance with. Yeah, look round.
That's right.
Yeah, look round, and if everybody dance, you not dance. You feel something wrong there, sir. See? When you go home, see? Yeah, could be the baddest man. But you like, if you know, so you can wrap up somebody who care for you and you care and all them. Don't care about anybody wants to.
It's true, Dougie.
You know?
There's a saying, thugs need hugs.
Yeah.
You know, and that's real. You know what I mean? And even the baddest man loves his children. You know what I mean, Dougie? He's not. As wicked as he is, he's not. He loves his children. I've seen some of the wickedest people love the youth, and it's going back to what we're talking about, controlling your emotions, and don't let negative emotions control you, Dougie. Like the youths who are on the road, or the mad people who want to kill 50 youths in the school. We're talking about we've got to embrace positive emotions, foundational love, Dougie, happiness, enthusiasm, inspiration, passion. You know what I mean? These are the emotions that we have to embrace, man, and focus on. Not anger, fear, doubt, worry, disbelief. None of these things, man. And that's when we talk about disbelief. What's the opposite of disbelief? Is belief. Believing. So that's why we say, have something to believe in yourself. Have an aim, have a goal, because that brings good energy in you. And that's what we should be vibrating at, that positive energy of Mother Nature, Father Nature.
Mother Nature. Okay, then. I'm going to play some of Brian Tracy. And people might not, home that people are familiar. He's the psychology of money. He's one of the best in the world. So I want to play a little bit of him.
Hello, this is Brian Tracy.
So listen to Brian Tracy.
To the 21st
I listen to him quite
century.
regular.
In less than 50 years, we have gone from the industrial age through the service age and into the information age, and things will never be the same again. We've moved in one generation from the age of the job, where people started off with a career and a company and stayed there for most of their lives, to the age of the entrepreneur, the contingency worker, the free agent, where you will work at a variety of jobs and careers throughout your life. We've moved from the age of manpower to the age of mind power. We have gone from a time where value was contained in land, capital, factories, fixtures, and raw materials, into the psychozoic age, the age of the mind, where value is now contained in knowledge and skill, and in your ability to apply it quickly in a competitive marketplace. Every major shift in culture and technology is recognized by only a few people at first, the innovators and early adapters, like yourself. These are followed by the late adapters, a larger percentage of the population, and then eventually by everyone else, the vast majority who catch on much later, if at all. We have moved from the era of lifelong employment to the era of lifelong employability. The biggest mistake you can ever make is to ever think that you work for anyone else but yourself. The innovators and early adapters recognize that they are completely self-responsible agents in a competitive workplace. You are the president of your own personal services corporation. You are the president of an entrepreneurial organization with only one employee, yourself. You have one product to sell in the marketplace, your personal services. For the rest of your life, your job is to run your personal company efficiently and effectively so as to maximize your value. Your goal must be to sell the very highest quality and quantity possible of your personal services so that you can enjoy a wonderful standard of living, accomplish all of your goals and dreams in life, and retire financially independent. Here are some questions for you. Would you like to double your income? Triple your income? Become a self-made millionaire? Would you like to rise to the top of your field and become one of the most successful and respected people in your industry? Would you like to have a beautiful home, a beautiful family, wonderful relationships, a nice car, a fat bank account, and an ever-expanding future of opportunities and possibilities? Well, the good news is that all of these are possible for you. And in this program, I'll show you how you can have them all. I'll give you a series of step-by-step strategies, methods, and techniques that you can use starting immediately to take complete control of your life and accomplish anything that you really, really want. How do you know that this is possible? Simple. Bertrand Russell, the British philosopher, once wrote that the very best proof that something can be done is that someone else has already done it. All around you today are men and women who started with nothing, and often with less than nothing, who have discovered and applied the key success formulas contained in this program to transform their lives. They've gone from rags to riches. They've gone from poverty and obscurity to success and affluence. Today, we are surrounded by millions of self-made millionaires, thousands of multimillionaires, and almost 200 billionaires, virtually every one of whom began with nothing and achieved their fortunes in one generation. And whatever others have done, you can do as well, if you find out what they did and you do exactly the same things over and over again until you achieve the same results. One of the great secrets of success has always been learn from the experts. As a wise man once told me, Brian, he said, find out what other successful people have done and then do the same thing. You will never live long enough to figure it all out for yourself. The very fact that you are taking your precious time to listen to this program means that you are a member of the elite. You are one of the top 10%, perhaps even the top 5% of men and women in our society today. Now forget about your current income or financial situation for a moment. Just remember the great rule. It doesn't matter where you're coming from. All that really matters is where you're going. Where you are going in life is determined by what you are doing at this moment. And what you are doing right now is that you are learning how to apply the same success principles that have been used by hundreds of thousands and millions of men and women, even people from other countries with no money, no friends, no language skills, no education, no contacts, and no resources to build wonderful lives for themselves. And what others have done, you can do as well. In the information age, knowledge is the raw material of success. The more you learn, the more you earn. In the information age, your ability to think well about yourself, your life, your work, and your relationships is the critical determinant of how much success and satisfaction you'll enjoy in each of those areas. The better you think, the better results you get. The better results you get, the better you feel and the happier you are. The better you feel and the happier you are, the more effective you are with other people, and the more they want to work with you and be associated with you. The more and better friends, associates, and contacts you have, the more doors that open for you, the more you're paid, and the faster you'll be promoted. Your life gets onto an upward spiral that eventually enables you to enjoy one of the highest standards of living in our society. That's what this program is all about. There's only one thing necessary for you to make these ideas work. It is that you accept complete responsibility for yourself and for everything that happens to you in life. This is one of the most difficult and yet one of the most important steps that you ever take in moving onto the high road of success and happiness. The issue of personal responsibility is the major personal, social, cultural, and economic issue of our day. In our society, and in every society, there's always a small minority of men and women like yourself who accept responsibility for everything they are and everything that they will ever become. These are the people who own the future. These are the people who take complete control of their own lives and their own destinies. The vast majority of people, unfortunately, take only small amounts of responsibility and, in too many cases, they take no responsibility at all. The vast majority of people feel that they are victims of forces over which they have no control. They blame their problems on their parents, their past, their bosses, their families, their bills, and other people or factors in society. The fact is that everyone has problems and difficulties in life. Most of us have had difficult childhoods and many problems in our earlier years. Nonetheless, we are where we are, and we are what we are because of our own choices and our own decisions today. We are where we are and what we are because of the things that we have done and often the things that we have failed to do. The people of tomorrow, the men and women of the 21st century, the knowledge workers like yourself who work with their minds, their skills, their abilities, are the ones who own the future because they take responsibility for it. This acceptance of complete responsibility for your life is the key to seeing yourself as the president of the company, You, Inc. It is only when you cross this mental threshold that the entire world opens up for you. It's only when you accept complete responsibility for yourself that all of the principles and concepts you're about to learn have real meaning for you. It is only when you see yourself as an economic and social adult and leave behind the complaints and excuses of economic and social children that you begin rapidly to move to the top of your field. Now, what are you responsible for? Well, let's look at a few things. First of all, you are responsible for your income. Over the long term, you determine exactly the amount of money that you make from your work. The good news is that if you're not happy with your income for any reason, you are free to increase it, to double it or triple it in the months and years ahead. We're living in a society of incredible abundance, and there's no restriction on how much you can earn. All you have to do is find out who else is earning as much as you want to earn, and then do the same things he or she is doing until you achieve the same income level. You are responsible for your health. You are responsible for your level of fitness, your weight, your energy levels, your appearance, and virtually everything about your physical person over which you have complete control. You're responsible for your relationships, for your emotions, your reactions, your responses, and your behaviors with other people. Nobody makes you think, say, or feel anything. The way you behave is always the result of a specific choice or a failure to choose on your part. From this point forward, develop the discipline of refusing to make excuses for anything. Refuse to criticize, condemn, or complain. Refuse to blame other people for things that aren't going well in your life. Instead, repeat to yourself over and over the words, I am responsible. I am responsible.
It's interesting because, now then, Brian Tracy's, is one of the best at it when it comes to money. You look at the whole thing about the psychology of money. It's one of the best out there. They say it's one of the best in the world. You know, definitely one of the best out there. And one thing he says that, you know, we keep blaming. We keep blaming other people for our downfall. You know, self-taking responsibility. So we have to take responsibility for our life, for our action. And the secret is, do your research, read. You know, if you want to get to, say you want to be financially free, that's the right word I'm looking for, right? Look at those who've done it. Didn't have an idea how you can get there. You know, I'm not saying that, you know, make money your god. No, it's not. Money's just it's a tool, isn't it? Just energy. Right. That's all it is. You have to be creative. So it's all about having a balance in life, you know, and learn from. There's so many people. I mean, Garvey's one of the greatest, to me, is one of the best examples we can learn from. You know, and Garvey died past Johnny Anderson when he was in his 50s, son, isn't it?
Yeah, he was about 50, 52, 53, Dougie, right?
Yeah.
He was born 1887, died 1940,
Yeah.
So you're right.
You know, imagine that, enjoying go through anything yet, you know what I mean? You know? See?
And all what he achieved in those years
Look
as
what he
well.
achieved. You see what I'm saying? Amazing. You know? So what we're going to do now, we're going to wind up in about a few minutes from now. I'll ask Minty just to, if you want to add anything what's been said.
Sure, yeah. It was, I do like Brian Tracy. I think that he says a lot of positive things, especially when it comes to financial freedom. I think that, again, it's a kind of idea that comes from how you think about yourself, how much financial freedom you have. It's again, it's about focus. It's about, as you said, Dougie, correctly, don't blame others, take full responsibility. In fact, that's the first law in being financially free, Dougie, to take responsibility. That's the first thing you've got to say to yourself. I am responsible for my life. I am responsible to create a financially astute environment. I am responsible. And Brian Tracy said something very important, Dougie, which is the crux here. There's a couple of sayings. The more you learn is the more you earn. The leaders are readers. So he said the more knowledge you have, the more money you can make, basically. So it's important to... and here's another challenge I give to people when we do presentations and whatnot. And I dare people to do it. If you want to learn about anything, any subject, I dare you, just read it for a whole week. A couple of hours every day, 3 hours a day for a whole week. Read about every day read. So if you want to learn about quantum physics, for example, okay, let me do something simple. About radio stations. Read 3-4 different subjects on how radio stations work. Every day for a week. In a week, you'll have so much more knowledge, man. That's the power of learning. You might even want to set up one because you've learned so much. I'm going to give an example from my own life, Dougie. I had a friend, you know her, Sister Pam Zebby, Dougie. Beautiful sister. She used to do courses in engineering for young people. Now, me and her were friend. She asked me to help her get somebody to do an engineering course. So, because we were based in Broad Lane at that time, remember, Dougie, we were around a lot of radio stations and recording studios. I asked a number of recording engineers if they wanted to do it and told them it's a good wage. Good money, you know, Dougie, man. Some nice money. An hour. And I contacted 3 or 4 people and they didn't want to do it. So I said to her, sorry kid, I'm finding it difficult to get people. I've spoken to a few people, but no one's got back to me. She goes, why don't you do it? I said, huh? What? I don't know about engineering. I said, I'll tell you what. Let me work on something that I've got an idea of. I know about radio presentations, so can we turn it into that, and I will do that. And that's when I brought you in, Dougie, and you come in and help me with the fantastic class. Anyway, she said, okay, but I want you to learn about the desk, which is what we've got in front of us, Dougie, and what is it, Audacity. Now, I was aware of Audacity, but I didn't know a damn thing about Audacity, Dougie, really. So what I did was, Dougie, I went on YouTube for a week, for about 3 or 4 hours every day for that week. Okay. And then by the end of the week, I knew it like the back of my hand, Dougie. And hear the joke. So I started the course a week later, and we finished it 6 weeks later. By the 6th week, the woman saw me working with the youth in Audacity. She was so impressed. I said, I only learned this a couple of weeks ago. She was so impressed, like I was an expert on it. So this just goes to show the impression you can create, the image you can manifest through learning, through reading, through getting knowledge. And this is what I advocate. It's not about beliefs in anything beyond you. It's about believing in yourself and your own ability and your own potential. You have it all, man, I'm telling you. So this is what we're talking about. When you learn, you can earn. And because I learned, I earned.
You earned, right?
You understand, Dougie?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
man. So that's why I use my own, because I know that it's not a belief. It's a fact for me. And it can be a fact for the people listening to. Yeah, man. So it's important, as the brother said, to get knowledge, man.
Knowledge is the key.
Knowledge is the key, Dougie.
Yeah. Okay, then. So what we're doing, we're going to put the pin in it. And again, we're going to big up to the Jam Master Show. Again, so we'll be here next week, same time, and give you some more information, more knowledge. Like I said, the first hour and a bit we focus a lot around health and personal development. See. Okay then.
Speaker whose influence spread across religious and secular arena. He is a man of great wisdom and insight. As you listen to him, you realize that common sense is truly not common.
Hello, you're welcome to Understanding Business 101. I'm Olumide Emmanuel. Wow, it's another opportunity for us to be able to share together so that you will be able to learn things you need to learn that will help you to succeed in your life. This CD, Understanding Business 101, is a compilation that I believe will help you to be able to know all that needs to be known in the area of business. I know that the dream of a lot of people is to become financially free. However, financial freedom does not just happen. In order to become financially free, you have to move from being an employee to being an employer. You have to move from the realm of salaries to the realm of income. And one of the things that will help you to become financially free is starting a business of your own. However, because a lot of people don't have clear understanding of business, they end up failing in business. And that is why we come up with all kinds of information products, educational products that will help to equip people and help to position people in such a way that they will be able to succeed and excel in whatever they set out to do. Understanding Business 101 will be showing you what exactly it means to be in business. When you say you are a businessman or a businesswoman, what exactly does that mean? Also, we'll be looking into the different classes of business, because you need to understand that business is classified into different groups. And apart from that, we will also be looking into different types of business, and then I will be rounding up sharing with you on few other tips that you need to have in place. However, you need to know upfront that this is Understanding Business 101. There are a lot of other materials that we have that you also need to get that will help you to be able to succeed in business. You need to get a copy of our CD, Entrepreneuring. Entrepreneuring 101, it's the sequel to this particular CD. You need to get it. You also need to get our CD on why businesses fail. The CD on why businesses fail is a very good one. You also need to get our CD on how to raise capital for your business and how to generate business ideas. Many of our CDs are available. You need to get them. It will be a tremendous help to you, and you need them to be able to succeed. So, understanding business 101. You need to realize that you cannot succeed in what you don't understand. So in order for you to succeed in something, the first thing you need to do is to try to gain an understanding of that particular thing. And once you gain an understanding, you are now set to be able to succeed in it. So in understanding business, I want to position you in such a way that you will now be able to succeed when you go into business. What is business? What is business? I define business as anything you venture into for the purpose of offering